All right. Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing tonight? CJ, what's up? All right, folks. Let a few more people get in here and we'll start the live. I don't know how to send you an invite. You got to send me one, man.
All right. Yeah, I didn't have a button to get an invite. It was weird.
That is really weird. Hope TikTok ain't going to fuck up again tonight.
I hope not. Hey, Jake the Snake, welcome in. Oh, I've got everything else. Hey, Bad Wolf, welcome in, Snow Angel. Get some lives going here, get some likes, did a couple shares. Hello from 19SD401. Welcome in, Phil. Bad Wolf just got his striker 955 in.
Nice.
Yeah, welcome in, Brantley. Papa, welcome in.
How's everyone doing tonight?
Doing great.
Good.
Phil asked how much the 955 costs.
That's a good question. I'm not at the shop. I'm at home. Um, I can't remember. Just give me a call at the shop tomorrow, and we could talk about it there. Yeah, there's too many things at the shop I can't keep track of. But that new 955 Plus is a pretty badass radio. It's
Hey,
got
welcome
a
in.
upper and lower sideband, and it's got the weather bands. It does 100 watts of power. They're pretty nice. What do you mean yours is 650 with the power upgrade? Hey, T, what's up?
What's going on?
Oh,
That I
same old
missed
stuff. How are
Saturday.
you, man?
Well, hanging in there, I guess. No conditions for 2 days. Not much, anyway.
Really?
For skip, yeah, not too good.
I'm
My
on.
line, my line of sight, like Louisiana, Texas, they all had storms and all. So
Oh, yeah.
a lot of guys, in Texas pulled their beams down if they had a retractable, tower, and just conditions ain't. Last 2 days they were horrible. I got out once. I didn't really try hard though.
Yeah. I'm on 38 lower sideband, and I can hear some in the background there. But so, CJ, what did he say? It was $650 with the upgrade? Holy cow, that's a lot.
Yeah. And Brantley said he missed you Saturday, but he'll be there tomorrow evening, so he'll see you Tuesday morning.
Tempo.
Everyone says the 955 is the best.
I don't know about the best, but it's pretty damn good. I gotta admit that. I like the weather bands in it. That's pretty cool.
That
Okay.
955 HPC Plus or whatever,
Yeah.
the new
Yep.
one.
Yep.
There's actually you could program like two, like I don't know what frequency, 155 something into them too, I believe.
Yeah, you can plug it into the computer and change all the frequencies. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I believe you could put like fire police. I don't know what it is here, what that is, what meter, 155 dot something or other or something.
Yeah, it's kind of the same out here. I think out here they're 154 meg, but
Yeah, maybe I'm a little bit too high, but that's
well,
pretty cool
no,
that you could switch that over from weather band. You know, if CB ain't running weather band, and then have them like fire police in the whole radio. That's pretty neat.
absolutely. Yeah, those little Wuxen handheld radios that I sell, the GMRS radios, you can program them from 120 megs up to 900.
Wow. Wow. I have some old Motorola, unless I threw them away, that were 900 meg they ran on, like in wreckers. I got a
Yeah.
pile off a guy, but I can never seem to get them to fire up. They're just really old.
Oh yeah, batteries are probably bad.
No, it was just a regular hot and ground. I
Oh
they there are really a lot of chips inside of them for how old they were. You know what I mean? It
yeah,
was, but they were
yeah,
running on 900
Hey,
megs.
welcome in, Roy.
yeah. You're talking about the mobiles. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I never really sent them out. I think I might have biffed them. You know, bought them in a package deal at one time, and
Sure. Yeah, that's cool.
I worked
All
for a
right.
big bus outfit, and I don't know what they ever ran. They had a Motorola in there, but I don't know whatever frequency they ever ran that was their own. It was probably
Yeah.
up there to 900 megahertz band.
Yeah, it might have been. I guess it depends what part of the country you're in, but
Yeah,
yeah, they're all different.
right.
I know out here, sheriff and state police are on 154 megs, uh, 154 to 155, and
What
I
state police?
think, yeah, I've heard about it. I got state police car and dispatch
Yeah, you might
programmed into
have.
mine.
Yeah, that might be their older stuff. They're supposed to be getting rid of that by July.
Yeah,
Well, up
yeah,
here they have that new digital. What is that new scanner version? I forget the name of it. You can't get in it. It's scrambled up.
Yeah, I
yeah.
know a lot of the scanners are. Opie goes, good evening from North Carolina, 206 diesel wagon, spending time home with the family. That's always good.
I don't know what scanner they use up this state police. I can't get it on none of my small radios. They have it all. I might be able to get it with a new digital one. Some new digital thing. I could be wrong exactly what it is.
Yeah, they're all going digital.
Yeah, the Bearcat digital, as long as it's a P25 or Phase 25, you'll get them. I've got one in my car. Papa
Oh,
Tim, hey, I heard you calling me Festus 888 in Carolina earlier. Just didn't have enough radio.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
everything's starting to go digital.
Oh, that's really cool. I'm glad he heard me. Yeah, that was fun. It's always fun on a live when you shoot skip to each other and you can hear yourself over the live. That's
what do
pretty
you go
cool.
by on the radio?
308 the Wolfman. I've been that
308.
since 1986.
Cool.
Yeah, that's when I started working on radios. That's so I got that handle or a nickname actually because that movie Top Gun came out and the actor that played the Wolfman, Barry Tubb, all my friends said I looked like him. That was it.
There you go.
Yeah, nothing
That
special.
was a
Just
hot movie. The new one they came out with was too new, too Hollywood. I didn't. The old one in '86 was good.
I agree. Yeah, I
There's a
agree
lot of good movies
100%.
out in '85 and '86.
Yeah, it was more realistic.
Yep.
Hey, Phil, what do you mean will digital work if there's a power outage? And LB answered, is there any good CD shops in North Carolina?
Man, I have no idea. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pretty picky. So when you ask me what is a good CB shop, um, the ones that I've seen throughout the years,
Hey, cool
there's
man.
Bob's CB in Pennsylvania, and there's Don CB in Erie, Pennsylvania, and he's
Oh,
actually
that's
the
close.
Connex
Well,
repair
no,
guy.
that's not close. Sorry, that's 4 hours away from me in Erie.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. I mean, other than those two, I know GI Joe's used to be really good, but they won't go out and tune antennas anymore. Insurance won't cover them because they're too old, and which sucks because that's where all the magic happens, that damn
Hmm.
antenna. So yeah, I don't know. There's so many new shops popping up, and I call them YouTube technicians.
Yeah.
And it's the truth, right? So
Well, yeah, because Skip's rolling hard, so radios are more money, and shops are popping up all over the place. Everybody's building amps, everything out of the
yeah,
woodwork.
yeah, exactly.
Shops are
And
Barbican.
I don't know. It's they claim to do this, that, and the other, and they charge you for it, but they don't deliver. So it's really hard. What were you looking for, man? What did you need?
Be right back.
She's in the chat.
Yeah, tell us what you need. You're in the chat. You can go ahead and talk.
There you
There
go.
you are. I heard you laughing.
Wolfman's a real friendly guy. He's pretty.
I'm
It's
not
okay.
sure how this works.
No,
He's
you're
Glad
good.
you're here.
No, you're good. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So it's probably easier to be live on the chat and ask questions than it is to type. So what's going on? What do you need?
I would like to get a further range um, on my CB. I don't know if it's the antenna.
Well,
Um,
I was just going to say that's where all the magic happens. Two tricks with radios. Doesn't matter if it's CB, ham, GMRS. Doesn't matter. The longer the whip, the bigger radiation pattern you're going to have. So the further you're going to hear and talk. And number two, it's got to be tuned up. So when you put an antenna on a vehicle or on a pole for a base, whatever, you're tuning the antenna to the ground plane of that vehicle, not the radio.
I gotcha.
So I don't like nothing leaving my shop over a 1.5 SWR. So the closer you get to 1-to-1, the better off you are. But yeah, like a 102 whip, that's what I run on my pickup, and you can't beat a 102. It's 9 feet long, and that's what a lot of people don't like because it's real big. But man, they get out like no one's business. It's a true quarter wave antenna.
Yeah.
So remember,
Jay, you
everything
just
with radios, microphones, antennas, it's all math. All right, it's all numbers. So 27 megahertz is what CBs transmit on mostly. And
ADD Wolfman.
that wavelength is 36 feet long. Half of 36 is 18 feet. That's a half wave antenna. Half of 18 is 9 feet. That's a quarter wave antenna. That's where they come from. See? So it's all numbers. Now, when you got an antenna with a coil on it, like say a Predator or a Viper or something like that, that's called a simulated quarter wave antenna. So physically, the antenna is 4.5, 5 feet long, but electronically, it's 9 feet. So if you were to take the coil off that antenna and straighten it out, then add the whip to it and measure it, it's 9 feet.
So, Jay, you just literally answered a question from Stefan. He's
What's
running a
up?
Galaxy 94 HP on his pickup. What antenna would you recommend? So, like you said, it's what antenna best tunes to that vehicle.
Right. So we get a lot of trucks in the shop where guys will come in and they say, "Oh, I want a Predator or a Viper or whatever."
Good afternoon, Medicine Man.
And if that antenna doesn't tune up to the vehicle because it doesn't like the ground plane, it's not going to tune up. So you got to find an antenna that likes the truck. Does that make sense?
You're welcome. Hey, T, thanks for the follow. I'll follow you back when we're done.
LB, does that make sense?
It does. I'm just trying to, because I'm not running a big truck. I'm just pilot car, so I've got a Toyota Tacoma. So, and I'm just now trying to really set it up like I really want it, and
Sure.
I'm willing to spend the money. I got to
Well,
figure out what I got going on here.
what I do for a lot of the pilot cars that come in the shop, the Striker magnet mount antenna, that little sucker, that thing talks and it tunes up nicely, which tells me the coil design is right. So when they made that antenna, they did their research and they made it correct. So when you put a magnet mount on a roof of a car or pickup or whatever, try to put it right dead center of the roof. That's going to give you an even ground plane for that antenna to reflect off of. Now, most times when you put those antennas on a car, boom, they tune right up. But you always want to put a meter on it and double check.
I have a little wheel now.
Hey,
Yeah,
look,
and the,
I mean,
and the
and it
problem,
does okay for the job, but I don't know.
yeah,
I like that long range. I would like to at least be able to get out like 5 miles. Right now, I'm sitting at like a mile, maybe 2 miles.
yeah.
I'm not
And
trying to
then
get involved in this, but
go
I have
ahead,
a
Chief.
Striker SR10 or whatever it is, AR10. And I have a little power behind it, and I shoot skip with it. So you should have no problem going more than 5 miles without an amp.
Yeah,
I
well,
shoot skip from Pennsylvania to Louisiana to
sure.
Texas, all over with that antenna. And I've tried almost every one they made till I got that antenna. And I didn't even have to really tune it. I dropped it in. I didn't even have to pick it up or down. I'm less than a 1 on 1 and 40 on a
Yeah,
Galaxy meter. I didn't hook an external, but I've had excellent
yeah,
luck with it.
yeah. Those antennas are really, really good for sure. Yeah, I agree.
Jay, you just answered Matthew Ritchie's question on the mag mounts and how you prefer on that one. Stefan says the Striker mag mount's exactly what he was looking at. And then LB, Stefan asked you how new is that little wheel?
It's probably about a year old.
Yeah.
I just
Well,
don't have the oomph to get out. That's just me.
well, the reason why they don't have the umph is it's got a short whip, right? So,
Yeah.
and something else, guys, about Wilson. I know this is probably going to piss off a lot of people or break some hearts, but the truth is the truth. Last 12 years, everything, coax, studs, mounts, antennas made by Wilson are made in
They
China.
changed over hands, yeah.
That's right. So
The
when
older
they
stuff
switched,
was good.
the older stuff was good. You're right. And when they switched production to China, they must have changed the coil design because I got one at the shop that I show customers and show them the difference. And when they did that, it just went downhill. And the other problem with Wilson is where the whip goes into that little metal stem, and that stem screws into the coil. Right where it screws into the coil, it leaks. So if you're driving in a rainstorm, it'll fill up with water, and you don't know it, and you key the mic, and boom, you blow the finals out of the radio. It's a dead short.
Oh, that might be what happened to my last radio then. That was literally brand new, and I took it to a place in Georgia, to Wolfman's, and they said they couldn't fix it. Well, the radio was brand new, said they couldn't get the parts for it. So I ended up having to buy a new radio and had a fortune tied up in it. And now I just want to be able to get a longer range on it.
Yeah, so all the magic happens in the antenna. Your radio is an irrelevant component. It really doesn't matter how strong your radio is. All the magic happens in the antenna. The longer the whip, the bigger radiation pattern you have, and the better it tunes up. That's it right there.
Your
So,
voice
yeah,
has to go out. Your voice
would
has to go out.
Well, yeah, and that's what SWR is, standing wave ratio, right? So if you
It
got a
comes back in, there
1-to-1,
goes the final. Of course.
right? If you got a 1-to-1 SWR, what that means is the radio is putting out 1 part power, and the antenna is getting rid of it. It's equal 1-to-1.
You won't be sorry with that Striker antenna if you buy one,
No.
believe me.
I run one on my pilot car as well. I believe Roy does on his.
I bought a newer Cobra antenna. I don't know what the model number was, but I just couldn't get the SWR right with it with numerous radios. I couldn't get the voice out. I put that Striker on, I'm talking all over the place.
Yeah. So my wife's pickup, she got a 2015 Silverado. And when we got that pickup, you know what I'm thinking, right? Ho, 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 ho. Big radio, big 102 whip, right? And She's like, sure, babe, you can put whatever radio you want in it, but you can't drill holes in my truck. And I'm like, shit. What am I going to do? So I said, whatever. I had a striker and a mag mount in the shop. I just threw that on there, tuned up to a 1.2. And we put the Ranger 99N4 in her truck, 500 watt radio. And that sucker talks good.
Hey, Hawk, welcome in.
That striker antenna on the roof acts sort of like a, what is it, 10 foot whip, or is it 9 foot? I forget the length of the.
It's 9 feet. Well, it doesn't perform like a 102, but I'll tell you what, it's pretty damn close.
It makes up the difference if you think
Well,
about
it doesn't.
it.
It doesn't. The whip is 60 inches long, 62 inches or something like that, and that's one reason why.
How long is the striker antenna?
62 inches.
And how long? The other one's
9 feet, 108 inches.
108.
It's more than double, and that's why the 102 talks so good. So I'll give you an example on antennas. In my pickup truck, I run the 94 Big Rig Galaxy, and I first put a Viper antenna on it, and my house is 16 miles away from the shop. My wife couldn't hear me. I could hear her on the base, but she couldn't hear me.
Right.
Then I went to a Predator antenna, same thing. Then I put a 102 whip on it, and we did our test. And
the original style antenna, I call that.
Yeah, exactly. And she goes, oh, yeah, babe, I can hear you loud and clear. Are you coming home? And I said, no, I'm still at the shop. She goes, oh, I thought you were driving down our street. That's how much difference antennas make. So,
yeah, but I was emphasizing where the striker is up higher. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Roy, we'll catch you later.
Then the difference of the bumper length. You know what I'm coming from?
well, yeah. Mine's not mounted on the bumper. Mine's mounted on right in the center of my roof.
Oh.
And
your 102 is?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so then you see, but I'm saying if you were on the bumper versus a striker on the roof, the difference of height, you know what I mean, is about the same.
People concentrate on height too much, and that's not where the magic happens. The magic happens in the length of the antenna, because if you got a whip that's 4 feet long, no matter how much power you put through that antenna, you only got a 4-foot radiation pattern, period. So when you go to the 9-foot whip, so with a 102 whip, 9 feet, well, with the spring, it's 108 inches. That makes it 9 feet. And so you got to, more than double the length of antenna. So, guys, when you hear guys out there on base stations talking, and man, they're getting out like crazy, and they're loud, and they're powerful, and all this stuff, 9 times out of 10, they don't have a more powerful radio than you do. But if you're running a 5/8 wave base antenna, the whip on that antenna is 21 feet long. So they got a 21-foot radiation pattern, and that's why they talk.
That's like me. I have very little power on my base station, and I shoot skip on an Antron 30 feet in the air. I shoot skip, same skip zone as I do in my vehicle.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that, T. Perfect. So remember I said that CBs transmit on 27 megs. That wavelength is 36 feet long, right?
Okay.
So if you got a base station antenna, and you're in an area that's pretty much flat land, there's no vegetation, stuff like that. You're not in the woods, right? If you set the base of that antenna on a 36-foot pole, then the antenna is 1 full wavelength off the ground.
The first wave, yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the ground plane of the antenna will work with the earth, and you'll get out even better.
Now, I got to emphasize this. Before I put it 30 feet on my house, I had it on my garage deck at only 8 feet off the ground. I know that sounds crazy. I shot skip just as well.
Does your garage have a metal roof?
No, but the house does. It seems like to me that Antron was ground planing itself, and the only thing I had on it was a lightning arrestor grounded into the ground with a ground rod. Was that making a good ground? I don't know.
Absolutely, that helps. Sure.
I got videos of me in my garage at 8 feet off the ground with that Antron shooting skip all over the place on maybe 200 watts.
Yeah, but that's really not a, how do I say this? That's not a real accurate test.
Mother Nature.
Right,
yeah.
Right. So, I've shot skip on a 4-watt handheld.
Right. The way the wind blew, I always say. Yeah, the wind blew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So
Hey,
if
Jay.
the atmosphere is just right, boom, you're going to shoot skip, man.
Hey Jay, real quick, going back through the comments. Stefan had a question. Is there a particular model of striker antenna setup they should look at? He believes there's only one.
They
But if
only
I'm
make one.
yeah, there's the
Yeah, they
mag
make
mount and then there's the truck version.
correct.
It
So
was weird with
let me get
mine though.
back
I
real
just
quick
dropped
to
mine in, tighten the Allen bolts. I didn't even pull it up or down. I mean, it was
nine
pretty much
times out of
set.
10. Yeah, 9 times out of 10, that's all you got to do. They're great antennas, aren't they?
Well,
So
then they did the smart thing by tuning them sort of before you got it, and they leave that end off where you could put it through a small cavity in your vehicle. You know, to
yeah,
put the other end on. They did a smart thing. Most antennas don't, when you get them, don't have that.
right. You can pull off the PL259. But
Mhm.
just to clarify real quick, there's no such thing as a pre-tuned antenna. The reason why that antenna tunes up so well is the coil is the right length.
And radio makes a difference too.
Hey,
That's me.
Matt, how you doing?
That's
Well,
me.
the power only helps if you got an antenna that's tuned right. If
It seems like my Galaxy tuned up real nice. I didn't have to put an external tuner on. You know what I mean? An SWR meter on or nothing. It's built into the radio.
huh?
I've had
Yeah,
Cobras
so
without
you
that.
don't tune the antenna to the radio. You tune the antenna to the vehicle. Yeah,
You're
but
saying.
the Cobra antennas, the coils aren't made. They're the wrong length. Same with the Wilsons now, and that's why the Striker tunes up so well. Yeah,
That
and you're
Cobra
right. I
antenna
mean,
wasn't
9
even.
times out of 10, when I put a Striker on a vehicle and I put the whip all the way down, boom,
Mhm.
they tune up. Yeah.
No, I had that Cobra
So,
before that,
Miss
which isn't as
LB,
long.
I hope this helped.
Yes, I am. You said a striker mag mount. Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes.
I think
And
it's an
put it right in the
AR-10, but
center
I
of your
can look.
roof if you can.
Well, that's where
No,
the
you're
little
right.
wheel sitting
It's
is
an AR
dead center.
SR10. Yeah, the AR10. So the reason why they call it the AR10, it's the A10 Warhog. So if you look at the can, it kind of resembles the gun,
We were talking about that today too.
and that
And it lights up when you
yeah that
when you key up to it. Lights up blue like a blue light, especially
yeah
at Kmart.
yeah on Kmart, right? Um,
That's what brought my
it's got
mind. You know.
LEDs in the bottom of the can. Yeah, you don't know. You're right. It's got LEDs in the bottom of the can, so when you key the mic, the little holes in the side of the can in the windows lights up blue. It's pretty cool. But that's a damn good antenna for sure.
It is. Yeah, I've got one on my pilot car, and they're great. Real quick, so Matthew goes. So what could be the issue when I key up my mic to talk to my brother-in-law? Granted, they're 50 feet, and it causes a low-pitched buzz noise. Stefan comes back. Low-pitched buzz sounds like it could be tower feedback. What are your takes?
Yes, I agree. I was just going to say that. That's where you're getting power from. So try to get power from a different location, and that should fix that. And I'll give you an example. Last week we had a gentleman in the shop that was running his radio off a cigarette lighter plug, which is fine. But every time he keyed up in the background, you just heard behind his voice. So I told him, I said, hey, do you have another outlet, another place you can plug in that cigarette plug? And he said, yeah. And I said, try it. Boom, and it cleared it up. So usually what does that is just a bad ground. It's back feeding.
This is me.
So
I'm
I
not
want to
trying
get
to
back
throw
to
myself in here. Could he put a choke on the mic cord? I did it to mine.
no, that's not that. That's a power issue, not the mic. But yeah, some of these newer trucks, man, they got really bad grounds. I'll give you an
Not
example.
mine.
When you guys are driving down a road, you ever pass a Ford, a Volvo, or a Freightliner, and you hear the static in your radio get real high until you pass them?
Yes.
Okay. So in the assembly line, to make it quick, they'll put 3 or 4 ground wires on one stud on the frame instead of separating them, giving them their own bolt, their own stud. And because of that, the wire that's furthest away from the frame is back feeding into the
Yes,
wire
Joe.
next to it. That wire is back feeding into the way next to it, all the way till you get to the one that's on the frame. And that back feed creates RF noise, and that's what you're hearing.
Mm.
So, as far as you go, ma'am, Put that antenna right dead center of your roof. Check your SWR. If you're under a 1.5, you're good. But try different locations. Move it back a little bit, forward a little bit, but try to keep it right in the center. And just move it around. And wherever you find the lowest SWR, take a Sharpie marker, put a circle on your roof, and that's where you got to keep it.
All right. I certainly appreciate the advice.
You won't be sorry with that antenna.
Well, yeah. And if you have any other questions, no, he's right. You won't be sorry. They're very, very good. That antenna's been on my wife's truck now for almost 5 years with a 500-watt radio in it with no trouble. Literally, I set it and forget it. I haven't touched it.
Cool.
But if you have, if you
I've
have any
tried
questions,
four
my number is
cheaper
in the
antennas
bio.
before that one, and I used that one.
Yes, I'm actually going to subscribe. I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to jump off here right now, but I'm going to subscribe to your channel.
Yeah, and if you hit that gold star up there and subscribe, I think it's 9 out of 31. We just started that a couple of days ago. I do exclusive videos and I do exclusive sales just for my subscribers only. So, but if you have any questions, ma'am, in my bio is the phone number. Just give me a call.
Okay, cool. Thank you. You guys have a good night and be safe.
Good night.
Take it easy.
Yes, ma'am. You too. God bless. 73s. We'll see you later.
Yes, ma'am. Take care. Hey, I just heard one of them striker antennas today. I had the guy tell me, he said, it's a striker. I said, no way. It's talking. You're talking like a base station, man. You're like 22 miles away. He said, I'm on a barefoot radio. I said, okay, well, come on by here. No joke. You did not tell any lie at all.
Isn't that crazy?
That is, it blew my
Those
mind.
antennas, man, they're just made right. They work really, really well.
I was told I
Yeah.
sound like a base station. You got to look at my gates if you look at my TikToks. I was told on a lot of my gates that I sound like a base station in my mobile with that antenna. A little bit of power
I believe it.
and not much. I mean,
Yeah, I believe it.
been running six. I haven't been running. I'm only running maybe 200, 300 if that.
I'll tell you guys a funny story. I got a 1998 Jeep Cherokee 102 whip right in the center of the roof, Galaxy 959, 25-watt radio.
Hey,
And
955.
I got a modified Texas Star that it's 880 watts. And when I drive into Albuquerque, everyone thinks I'm on a base. And one night, I was talking to a buddy, and it's real late at night, 12 o'clock at night or something like that. And I pulled into a Sonic just to finish my conversation with him. Well, Sonic was closed. All their lights were out, and every time I'd key up, I'd light up all their neon.
Now, me, if I pull in front of a local gas station here and I key up right by the gas pumper in front of the door, their lottery machine starts going off the alarm. So I don't
Oh,
do
dude,
it
I got a
anymore, but I
fun.
was told by my son, the worker figures it was you keying up outside.
I'll tell you a funny story, man. So way back, this is 25 years ago, whatever. I pulled up in front of a Circle K. Same story. I was sitting there talking to a friend. I pulled up right in front of Circle K, and I was finishing my conversation, got out, went in. And the lady goes, oh, man, I thought this place was haunted. And I said, what are you talking about? She goes, well, I think it was you. You were talking on your CB? And I said, yeah. She said every time you'd key up, the doorbell would go off. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong.
I've heard
There's a
people
good one right
opening
there.
garage
It says,
doors and all with that shit.
he's at Joe Hoover right there. Pick it up there, CJ. You see that right there? I'd like to know what caused that.
What did he say?
Yeah. I'm looking at he's got a striker on a North Star 4000 and 500 watts, and it can kill his truck.
Okay, so what does that? In these newer vehicles, even with semis, with all the damn ECMs and body computers and all that shit, when you key the mic, excuse me, sorry about that. When you key the mic, there's so much RF around that
Floats
truck.
around in that vehicle. Yeah.
Yeah, with the powerful radio, it's the RF. And the computers don't know what it is, so they go in a self-preservation mode, which is limp mode. And sometimes the computers will even restart. So like a lot of these newer trucks, you can't run more than about 250 watts in them. It just messes with the computers.
My 21 Silverado, before I got the striker, I had that Cobra and all the RF wasn't going out. It was staying in the vehicle. I would go down the highway, all the gauges would shut down, check engine, all kinds of shit would
Yep.
pop up
Yep.
because the
That's
RF
right.
wasn't going out the antenna.
Well, if it's not tuned right or you got a bad coax, it'll do that. But even
No,
if you
the
got,
antenna was that Cobra antenna. I had no luck with it.
oh yeah,
I
yeah.
had the SWR set right and everything. I just couldn't get the juice out.
Well, and
So is
here's
there
the
anything that Joe can
Hey,
do?
Brad, good
Can
master
Joe do
weapons.
anything to do that besides backing up on the wattage, or is there anything he
well.
can do to help him?
Sometimes yes. So um, if he's got a stretch frame or if he pulls a flatbed. Whoa. Sorry about that, guys. If he's got a stretch frame or if he pulls a flatbed, we mount one or two whips on the catwalk, and that usually will take care of it.
Gets that R up above the cab.
No, not it's not above the cab. It's mounted to the catwalk, but it
Oh,
gets it
okay.
away.
You were saying you were. Go ahead.
It gets it away from the computers. Because if you think about it, if you got antennas mounted on the mirror, the ECMs are mounted on the firewall, right? So that's like what, 2, 3, 4 feet away. So when you mount that antenna on the back of the truck, usually that helps. But yeah, you got to have good coax too.
I got a quick question, and I'm fixing to bounce out of here, man. I just seen you on your live. 2 watt. How? What? Where's he at? In reference to you?
I have no idea. Who's that?
He said he was down near the Mojave.
Oh, Mojave. I'm in New Mexico.
Yeah, he's probably going to be down Arizona, California area.
Okay. Okay. We were talking to him yesterday. It was rolling pretty good up here in South Carolina.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, the skip was rolling pretty good earlier. I was on the triple nickel upper sideband, and damn, uh, Canada, England, not Australia. What's that other one out there? I keep forgetting. Shit.
I know you were talking to Hawaii at one point.
Yeah, I talked to Hawaii, but anyway, yeah, skip was rolling good, and then just like that, boom, it was gone.
AM was horrible for a couple days around here. A little bit, very little. Not like usual.
Yeah,
In my skip zone, anyway.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never heard from Mud Duck down in Lordsburg in a long time. His radio went quiet about a year
He
ago.
got busted.
yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, what are you talking about, Mud Duck? That's like old news, man. We don't talk
Yeah,
about
he's-
old news.
He's
We talk
gone.
about
Mr.
new
Mud.
news.
Where's all the big radios?
You're looking at one in the video.
Joe Hoover. Yeah, he got busted by the FCC finally, and they finally shut him down.
Actually, yeah, and he got busted by the New Mexico district attorney.
For not delivering people stuff that he promised that he sold to them. That was
Yes,
the main
sir.
reason he got busted.
Yes, sir. You're right. 100%. Yes, sir. So he
Rip
was
off
asking
all
about a
them
big
people.
radio. Hold on a minute. Look at this. That's
That's a
like
big-
2 feet.
Yeah.
So, Mr.
Oh.
Lever, you talking about a base station or a CB in the in-car? All right, Medicine Man, you have a good night. 73s, my friend.
Yeah, y'all
Yeah,
do the
you have a
same.
good
I didn't
night.
want to jump in I didn't want to jump all in the mix there, but y'all take care.
No,
73
dude,
is-
you're fine, man. Come in anytime you want. The more the merrier. It's all good, man.
Yeah, buddy. Y'all take care. We'll catch you tomorrow sometime.
Take it
10
easy.
for 73s, man. God bless. We'll see you.
Likewise.
You guys hear that guy? I don't know where he's at. He sounds foreign.
Joe Hoover was one of those guys that never got his stuff.
Damn.
Oh, man.
Wow, Jay, we're up
You
to
know-
3,100 likes right
Bad-
now. You doing the
bad
never
business.
subscriber?
Really?
Yeah.
Congratulations, well done.
I like my noise toys. Leave me alone.
Hey, I've got mine on order. It'll be here in a few minutes. Matthew Ritchie goes, I'm out in VA. Wonder if I could hear you.
What's your handle? Are you on 38 lower side?
Noise toys. Yep.
Yep. Yeah. So to get back to what that guy was saying about never got his delivery or whatever. I had an old man in my shop about 2 years ago, and same thing. He paid for like an $900 radio, which is ridiculous for a striker. And anyway, he never got the radio. And I asked him, I said, "How did you pay for that?" And he said, "PayPal." And I said, "Pull up your PayPal." And I showed him how to go through it and file the grievance and all that. And he called me back like 2 weeks later and he says, "Will you believe it or not? They gave me my money back." And I said, "Thank God." That's hard to believe after that long period, but they did.
Right.
Should I just have a CB to mess around with? I'm not serious, and all that. Just got a Cobra Classic.
That don't matter.
They're
What's
good-
your handle? I'll give you a shout. So if
Good
you're on a
radio.
Cobra Classic, you don't have sideband.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll have to go to another channel, but I'll give you a shout. Hell, we'll try it.
He even has an old president. He really doesn't know anything. You know, I didn't know CBs at all until I started hanging around with Jay at the shop and doing all these TikTok lives. I've learned so much just coming in here. Hey, Brian Piers, if you're from Canada, welcome in.
Yeah. And he said a Cobra Classic is a damn good radio. Well, they were 30 years ago. Now they're not. They're made in China.
Well, the
And,
newer ones have a better audio chip. The newer versions, 24, 23, 24.
The 24 Cobra has a 4
Yeah.
watt dead key and it swings to 6 watts. That's it. They're a joke.
Yeah.
I couldn't
now
They're
believe
cheaper. They're cheaper made, but there's a better audio chip in them than the older ones.
Yeah, but they got no power.
They're very light. You know,
Yeah.
the knob is very, toy. They're not as heavy, but the audio chip's a little louder than the older one.
Yeah, but they got no power, and you can't really turn them up. They kind of, they went downhill. That Cobra and Connex has gotten so bad, I don't even carry them in my shop anymore.
Yeah, for a lower end radio though, for somebody just starting off, they're not. The new one isn't terrible. I have two of them. I have a Classic, I think, and a Night Watch.
Yeah.
But from the factory, the modulation's down about 75, and I jack it up to a little bit over 100, about 100.
Try the Uniden PC78. That radio
I have
will do
one.
20 watts.
I
Has
have
way
one,
better
right?
audio.
How about
Yeah.
it, girl? Going to bed?
It's basically the same as a Cobra, but that's an older. That's not a new 24 model. The 78's a little back, ain't it?
No, they still make them brand new.
Oh,
So I
must
carry
have
the-
older one.
Yeah, I carry the 78 in my shop, and that's a much better made radio. Totally different board.
Have you ever
better
tried to
modulation,
adjust? I'm sorry
more
to
power.
interrupt you. Did you
No,
ever
you're
try to
good.
adjust? You ever try? I have a 68, the smaller version. I could never adjust that right. You call it peaking too, and I call it adjustment. The 68, it's a little smaller than the 78. I think it's
Yeah.
a 68. You ever try
Yeah, I-
adjusting one of them or peak? It's horrible. It's horrible. You won't. There's something with it. You can't. I don't know what it is.
Interesting. What is it about you can't adjust? Because I've done a million of those.
I never had any luck, and Six Killer told me the same thing. I don't know if it was a Canadian made board or something.
Huh.
Something was you couldn't, I don't know, you couldn't put the modulation right. It's tough. It's a tough radio. I didn't know you did a couple of them, but
Oh yeah.
I
Hey,
couldn't.
Interesting.
Just to catch up with the comments real quick. Matthew goes, he has an old president that he got switches on the side. He was told it's for extra channels for $10. He got it in an antique shop. Then an old Classic 25 for 20 at an antique shop. After new
Nice.
protection diode, it worked.
Nice.
Then Stefan asked, he has thoughts on the Bearcat with the full digital screen.
No, that's all surface mount technology, man. There's not much really you can do with it. And the problem is with those surface mount radios is when something burns out, it's out. It's all computer chips. You can send it back to them to get it fixed, but hell, it costs you as much as buying a new radio.
Hey, Terrence, welcome in.
Here's the difference between new and old radios. 20, 30 years ago, when you looked at a part, let's just take a 200 ohm resistor, for example. When you looked at the data sheet, it said 200 ohm resistor plus or minus 1%. Now it's plus or minus 20%. So you got 50 resistors
Sorry,
and
I jumped.
diodes and a radio, and they're all over the place. Nothing's lined up. And that's why in my shop I don't peak and tune. It's PTA, peak, tune, and align. And if you can't align it, that's probably why.
Are you talking to me about that 68? I jumped out of here quick. My internet went bananas.
Oh, no, you're fine. No, I was just talking in general. That's all.
Oh, I had no luck with that 68. I mean, I've done
Yeah.
Cobras, done Galaxies.
No,
That
nice.
68,
No,
I
that's
couldn't
pretty
do
cool.
anything.
Yeah, so and I've done a bunch of 68s, and they're fine radios, entry level, cheap radio if you need a backup or something. But for
Yeah,
the money, for not even $20 more, you get the 78, right?
right.
So that's why I don't even carry them. Just carry the 78s. Yeah, Cobra got bad. Connex real bad with solder joints, man. Constantly fixing
Have
solder
you messed
joints.
with any new Cobra 29s, like 24 models?
Yeah, that's why I don't carry them.
With FM?
Yeah,
It's not like I use the
Old
FM.
Roosevelt from the 80s, I think.
yeah, no one does.
Yeah, it's just there.
But I get a lot of guys coming into the shop and they go, I can't talk to anybody. My SWR is 1.1. We put a meter on it. Sure enough, 1.1. But they pushed the little knob and the little dots lit up in the channel selector and they were on FM.
They didn't realize they're in FM. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not used to it. The dial on them is really cheesy, but I was told that
Yeah.
there's a new audio chip, and I don't know how true that is, but
No. I put them up on the bench, man. They're doing like 35 to 40% modulation. And
that's what I'm saying. I turned mine up. If you could, the pot is only, I turned it almost all the way up on both of the ones I bought because I couldn't, and I
you
added
could turn
talk
them up.
back too.
Yeah, you can turn them up, but they still do only about 6 to 8 watts. Shit, my handheld does more than that. It's just sad what they've turned out to be. They just got cheap, and it's
Roger,
too
Jeff,
bad.
Yeah, but if you add a little amp to it, it works pretty well.
Absolutely, and that's I'm glad you said that.
Well, most
So a lot of these,
of my
lot-
radios I run at 4-watt dead key. That's just
well,
the way
sure,
my yeah.
but a
So
lot
out of
of
the
radios
box
that
at
are real
4
low
watt, I
power.
don't have to mess with it. What's that?
A lot of radios that are low power. I'll give you an example. My Cobra 148 GTL. That's there on the bottom of the screen.
With sideband, yeah.
Yeah, and it's got all the funny channels in it, right? But it only swings to 12 watts.
Right.
But you put that through that Texas Star up there, and
Well, of
boom,
course.
it sounds great
where-
because you're not overdriving the amp.
Yeah, see now like my Galaxy, I always take them apart, it has variable dead key to 959. I put it 1 watt low and 4 watt high so I don't ever bump it while I'm over the channel selector and it go too much, you know what I mean?
Hey, Chris.
Yeah,
Thanks for-
that's a good idea. All right, go ahead there, CJ. Do we have any comments that I missed?
Yep, one just came up now. My RG99 from Stefan says, I use the upper and lower and my lights get dim. Is that usually not enough power for the radio?
So your lights get dim in your vehicle? That's question number one. Number two, is your vehicle running or is it off?
You're right about that one.
On the radio itself. Okay. Matthew,
Okay.
real quick, let me go back. I missed a comment. Just real quick. The president is an old Roosevelt from the 80s, he believes.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But he didn't answer my question.
Yeah.
So the lights on the radio are getting dim, but is the vehicle running or is it off?
He put in the comments running.
Okay. What's the SWR of your antenna? We'll start there. So that's a really good question, and I'll explain why. Radios are made. Yeah, that's a little. Yeah, I don't like nothing over a 1.5, but where are you getting the power from? Where are the power leads run to? And excuse me.
What's an
Is that
RG99? I should know this.
Hello.
Ranger?
Hey,
Oh,
Seven. This way it's easier for you to ask questions instead of having to type it out.
they're power hogs to begin with.
Yes, sir. It's actually a Ranger RG99, and it's hooked up in my Kenworth T800,
Yeah.
and
But
it's
where's the
hooked up
power
to
wires
the
hooked up to?
regular. It's hooked up to the regular hookups, which would be what the factory provided. I have not ran a external power wire yet.
Yeah, that could be the issue. Excuse me. Some of those power lugs up there, they don't run a good ground wire, and a lot of people don't understand how electricity works. So everyone runs these big ass wires down to the battery, and that's the worst thing to do because the bigger the diameter of the wire, that's made for a specific amp load. And if you're not putting that amp load through that big wire, it actually creates more resistance.
Like power drop, right? Like a line
Yeah.
dropping an air hose. Similar.
Hey,
Well,
Thomas, welcome in.
kind of.
Makes
But
sense.
so I always tell guys if they're going to run power to the battery, just run the same diameter wire down to the battery. So if you do the math, 100 foot of wire with 100 volts in it, the loss is 1/10 of an amp. Do the math. So, yeah, just run the same power wire because how far are you running? 12, 13 feet? It's not that far.
Roughly, yes,
So,
sir.
yeah, roughly. And, or what you could do, take the ground wire off that lug and screw it into the body. See what it does.
Hey, Brent Gunther, welcome in.
That's actually a really good idea as well. Definitely, yes, sir.
Yeah, try that because what the ground wire does is it completes the circuit. So if the circuit is not complete, it's going to try to draw more amperage. And that's why your lights are going dim when you key up. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
Yeah, see someone wrote 8 gauge of the battery. That's too big.
Way too big.
Yeah, there's too many wives' tales out there.
Yeah.
Mux asks, is a 955 HPC Plus with power turned down too much for a Texas Star 350? Hey, Zach.
Nope. I'll tell you what, man.
Doing his job.
Yeah, he's really good. Striker radios on Texas Star amps. I don't know what it is, but man, they sound good.
Hey, Red
They
Dog.
match up. They match up pretty well.
Yeah, they sure do.
What's dead key in that Striker 955 HPC Plus?
It's not much. It's like 2 watts or something like that.
Is it adjustable on them? I don't have any Strikers. The only radio I don't have. I have Galaxies, I have Cobras. I never fell into the Striker yet.
No, it doesn't have a can for it.
Okay.
So Matthew's asking what's dead key.
A dead key is when you key the mic and don't talk into it, and you see what the wattage is when you dead key. You don't want to drive a Texas Star like over 4 to 5 watts. But if you're around like the 2.5, 3 watt range, man, they sound good.
Gunny says he's not making breakfast. He's still at the yard.
Oh shit! You're not gonna make it, Gunny? Come on, man. I know you can leave tonight and be there tomorrow. I've heard some of the stories, man. Come on. That fucking dude is crazy, man. That's some bitch to show up at my shop and he goes, "Yeah, I left Utah last night." What the fuck? And he's already in New Mexico. Son of a bitch.
Hey, it's not that I can't make it. It's I'm too busy polishing the turd, so I haven't left yet.
Yeah, because I know you can make it. How you doing, my friend?
Tired, getting ready to leave, but I'm tired. So I still gotta
Are you
swing
still
down.
headed my way?
Yeah. I got to swing down the house and see Tiffany for a minute, and then eventually get headed towards New Mexico.
Tempo. How is she doing with all that family drama bullshit?
I don't know. That's why I stayed at the yard this weekend.
Nice.
Copy that. I just want to make sure she's okay.
Hey, Davison, welcome.
I think she's doing okay. Yeah, man. Just want to let you know I'm not going to be there for breakfast. But I'll probably see you around lunchtime.
Well, that's cool. If we're not busy, we'll go grab some lunch or something, dude. That's cool.
All right, sounds good. Okay, I'm going to jump out of here. You guys have fun. I got to get finished up polishing this turd and then get out of here.
All right,
All right, buddy. Yeah, stay safe, man. 73s. God bless, man.
All right, later, guys.
Hey, so Red Dog's asking Striker 955 versus an Anytone 5555 NV2.
955 Striker. So the reason why I don't carry any tones in the shop is when they first came out, they were having a lot of trouble with finals blown because their transmit circuit was not designed correctly. I don't know if they fixed that, but that kind of bothered me because that shit should have been squared away way before they sold that radio, because making CB radios is not a new thing. You could copy a fucking Cobra 29 and make it work. You know what I'm saying?
Is
All
that
right, we got.
is that
Go
a
ahead,
myth
I'm sorry.
that Both the same boards.
What's that?
The 955 and that Quad 5 are the same board radio.
I'm not sure about that. I don't think so.
That's what that's what I've heard. You hear a lot of things.
Yeah, like you got to have 18 foot of coax, and the coil's got to be above the cab.
Real sure.
Which is, it's funny because you don't talk off the coil, you talk off the whip.
They tell me like jumper wires for mine should be a different length and all for my amp. I don't have that issue. I just use.
Yeah, as far as coax goes, the shorter the better, less resistance.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got Stefan and Mr. Redbeard.
I'm here.
What's up, dude?
Not much.
Where you at tonight?
Home.
Nice. You made it home. Congratulations.
Made it home this morning. About 11 o'clock.
Nice.
Congratulations. Well done.
You corny bastard.
That was good, Jay. That was good. So
that was on out of here. Look through TikTok. You guys have a good night.
All right. Have a
Hey,
good night.
man. You too, man. Thanks for jumping in there. You have a good night. 73s.
Yep.
73.
Redbeard, what's up, brother?
What's going on, man?
Oh shit, just another day out here in paradise.
Yeah, for real.
Hey, Jay, real quick. 14U2NV. What about a Yaesu FT891 with auto tuner with Mars mod to play all bands with ham license?
That is a totally awesome radio. Get rid of the auto tune crap. Tune the antenna physically. Antenna tuners take away power from the radio. So they work, but they pull wattage out to make it work. So if you physically tune the antenna, you're better off. If you're going to go on multiple bands, then you run an antenna switch with multiple antennas. Wink, wink. That's a little pro tip for you. That's Ricky Bobby Inc. Oh, we got New Zealand in there.
Nice. Let's see, Striker 955, I've heard good on, long as the antenna is right. Correct. As long as it's
Doesn't matter
tuned
what
right.
radio you got, the antenna's got to be right.
The antenna has to be right. It's got to be tuned right.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Any of you guys that have been truck drivers for a long time know that. And CJ up there is a pilot. He owns Phoenix Pilot Car Service. So any heavy haul boys need a good pilot car, he's the man for sure. And I do all his radios, and he can tell you firsthand about the antenna. Go ahead, CJ.
Yeah, antenna is everything. Now, I've had to use cheap ones. They don't work. I went with the Striker. We've had to repair a few of mine, and I won't go back with anything. And once it's done, I leave it alone. I don't touch it. No one touches my radios. The antenna is all the magic. Yeah, he's 100% right.
Well, yeah, and you don't want to move the location either because that changes the way the antenna reflects off the ground plane, which changes the SWR.
And then
Okay,
if like
so
Yep, I'm putting mine back as we speak because I got to look in today, and with them standing straight up, throwing about a 1.5 to a 1.7 SWR.
Yeah, that's a little high.
According to the radio.
Yeah.
I
So,
have a question to that.
Go ahead.
Do you now you said something about them standing straight up? Do you normally have the antennas angled slightly forward, or are you normally standing straight up?
You always want them straight up and down as much as possible. Sometimes we have to angle them to get them to tune.
Okay.
But you got to remember, from the base of the whip to the tip of that whip, that whole whip radiates from side to side. Actually in a circle if you're looking down on top of it, but let's just say side to side. So if you tilt that antenna forward, now the whole front of the antenna is shooting the RF right in the ground.
yep. And
Yes,
that's
sir.
where we had tuned mine was with them angled. So,
Well, angled a little bit is okay. But
yeah,
you see
no,
some of
there's
these guys that got them sticking straight out like the bullhorns or whatever, and that kills their range.
hey, Big Baby 83, welcome in. David Warren, welcome in.
no,
So
I had them tilted just enough to take that hum out of them, but like I said, I was sitting here today. I'm on waiting for Arkansas permit. So I'm
Yeah.
over here in Tennessee, and I was like
Put
looking.
that zip tie through it.
I did that, and for some odd reason, the zip ties we bought, I went to put it through there, went to tighten it, and damn zip tie broke in half. And you could grab it with 2 fingers and break it like a damn. I was like, oh, somebody didn't put any elasticity in these zip ties. So I'll throw that whole pack away.
From
Never had
the
one do
words
that.
from the words of Donald J. Trump, they're made in China.
I'm pretty sure they did because the only long ones we could find today were at the Dollar Tree. So
There you
know
go.
they come from China. But I'm like,
Oh,
okay, how
yeah.
can they screw up a zip tie? Well,
Well,
that's how they
you
can
just
screw up
found
a
out.
zip tie. Yeah, I've never seen one do that. You know.
Yeah, I bought a
Wait a
pack
minute.
like that too from Harbor Freight, and every damn one of them broke.
Yep. So Harbor Freight didn't even have the long ones. They had 8-inch ones. I'm like, I'm not putting 10 zip ties together just to do this.
Yeah.
And I seen those 24s, and I was like, oh, okay, it's a zip tie. Big deal. And then, yeah. Pow.
Get some in Napa or AutoZone or something like that. Usually they're better.
Oh,
Flight
yeah.
Connection, that is the $1.25 tree now.
Yes, the
Right?
$1.25 tree. Yep. Yep, and they own the Family Dollar stores too now. They're all part of the same thing.
Interesting.
You know. Okay, I have a stupid question because I can't remember. What is this function button on this 655, Jay?
That's to go through the menu.
Oh, is it?
That's
Okay.
yeah. I'll tell you what. An easier way to learn the functions on a striker. Do not go to YouTube and watch a video. Just Google it, and it'll come up, and it'll show you the different functions and what they do.
Oh,
And you
okay.
can read it. You can read about it. Yeah. But like the manual that comes with those radios, they suck.
I don't even know where any of the manuals for any of my strikers are.
Hey, Farming
Oh.
Caleb.
Yeah,
Wait
but
a
the
minute,
manuals suck.
So you mean that button on the side wasn't to order a double cheeseburger?
Right?
Large fry and a Pepsi.
Right?
Hey, Jay, real quick, we're up to 6,300 likes. We've had 2 shares and 1 new subscriber.
Damn, that is awesome, man.
Hell
You know,
yeah, man.
it still blows my mind. That little bitty radio shop. You know, we got 40,000 followers just on TikTok alone. And I never would have guessed in a million years it was this popular. It was a hobby that I started when I was 14 years old, and it turned into this. Tell me God ain't good.
Yep.
Definitely. Most definitely.
That's like I found the Roger Beat button was fucking with the back door. She hates a Roger Beat with a passion. So I went there and turned that on, and she's like, I'm gonna cut your coax. I'm like, please do. I got to get it replaced anyways. Save us some fucking time. I mean, go ahead.
Yo, what's up, man?
What's going on, Barto?
How's it going?
Z71.
Hey, Night Train, welcome in.
Howdy. I was just trying to type out a
looking truck.
Thank you. I was just
So,
trying to
Bart,
type
how
out a
was-
paragraph.
Oh, yeah. That's much easier to join a live, right?
Yep.
So, Bart, how was your day cooking like 100 chickens?
Well, it was pretty good. It wasn't horrible. It was pretty steady.
That's good.
I don't have a count of how much chicken we did, but I think pretty much everybody that came in ordered 16-piece buckets. So
Wow.
Actually sounds good.
So,
it's good.
what was that movie where he's all, that's not a little, that's a lot.
Oh,
It's a lot of fucking chicken.
Yeah. That's for the birds.
All right, y'all. The birds.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
That's right.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna check ass out of here. Y'all have a good night. Be safe out there.
Yeah, you too, man. 73s. God bless, man. Be safe.
Later.
Later.
All right, somebody hang me up. How the hell do I do this?
Well, before you do that, don't forget to like and share the live. And our goal tonight, we got what? We got 50 red hot chili peppers.
I actually did like that. That's that golden heart up top, right?
Oh, that golden star! You subscribe to the subscriber page. So that's, what's cool about that is I do exclusive videos and sales at the shop for subscribers only.
Nice, man.
Yeah, so you'll be a part of that. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Y'all have a good night. And if I can figure out how to hang this up, I'm working.
I got you. I got you.
Like,
Right.
give him the boot.
Wow,
Oh.
I was thinking nothing of it, and I just stop and go at a red light. Oops.
Yeah, we've all done that before.
that's called
what's coming,
a that's a California stop, don't you know?
Yeah.
Or like this freaking dash camera that they got me testing. Be like, rolling stop. I had a yield sign, you dumbasses. Wasn't a rolling stop.
Oh,
Oh,
dude.
safe.
Alan, I got to tell you a story, man. So, our younger son, Levi, when he was getting his license, went out here to the DMV. They give him a little driving test, blah, blah, blah. Well, the lady dinged him for going through a yield sign. And I said, Levi, what did you do? And he goes, well, I hit the brake. I slowed down. I looked both ways. It was clear, and I went. I said, well, that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
So, dude, I went down to the DMV, and I'm like, how long have you been driving, ma'am? Like, where do you get your rules from? Do you speak English? Like, fuck. Dude, this is simple shit, man.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's like I told safety. They got me doing the testing for the company we're leased to. I'm like one of the ones that are like, well, you're a good driver, so we'll have you put it in your truck. Okay, whatever. Well, this stupid thing, I won't even be anywhere near a speed limit sign. I'll say over speed. And I'm like, how in the hell does the dash cam know that? They're like, oh, it doesn't have GPS or anything in it. Really?
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm like, and how many times is it documenting this shit and putting it in file? I'm like, yeah, no, we're not doing this, people. And I've talked to JJ Keller several times, and I'm like, look, I need the login for it where I can review the footage and stuff like that. Oh, we'll get that for you. Haven't got it yet, so Yeah, no.
Well, stop doing the classes until you get it. That's how you get it.
Yep. Well, it's unplugged now. 'Cause I'm like, nah, screw this. I
Good.
ain't. It's unplugged.
Yeah,
And
it's
all
just
not.
like the military, man. The military is only as good as its backing.
Yep.
You got to have good backing, man. Just like a good wife at home. You know what I mean?
Yep. And God, I have been trying to figure out if it was one of the Russian companies or who smoked that bridge up there on I-10.
The
And
16-footer?
yeah,
Yeah.
That was lovely.
I know,
oh,
man. I saw the YouTube, or the not YouTube, Facebook post. Holy
yeah.
shit.
I'm like, I seen that and I automatically went to Google Maps and seen where I get off because they make us run down the 9 and then up 80 and back to 10. We don't even, we get into New Mexico, we don't hit a big town until we get into, once you leave El Paso, you got one fuel stop on the way, and that's at Love's out there in Santa Teresa. Other than that, you
Yeah.
ain't got shit until you get down on the border. And I mean, you can take and throw a rock and hit the wall,
Yeah.
and no man's land. And I seen that, and I'm like, shit, I can't remember what exit that is. And I looked up, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good. I get off the exit 5. That happened at 24. Okay, I'm good.
Wow. Yeah. That's how you say quarterback when you're in Mexico. El Paso.
El Paso, I guess.
I'm just kidding, guys. But
Shoot.
so that accident was on I-10.
Yeah. Yep.
Where was it on I-10? I'm not familiar with that area
Lordsburg.
down there. Oh,
Lordsburg.
Lordsburg. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Exit 24, Lordsburg. I don't know
Man.
how they got them guys running around, but I'm like, damn, that's gonna suck.
Oh yeah. Look at old Bart out there, man. He's just booming the chili peppers.
Spicy.
That's right.
But
I do have a radio question when we get a chance.
Go right ahead, sir. Sure.
So I bought an 18 Peterbilt and the antenna mounts on the back of the sleeper. I pull a reefer. What do I need to do to get out more? Because once someone's past me, I lose signal pretty quick.
Well, let's start here. Do you know what the SWR of your antenna is?
On my radio, it reading like 0.8-ish, somewhere around there.
No such thing as a 0.8. It can't go
one.
below 1.
Well, I've got a Cobra, so I don't really know how
Well,
accurate it is.
So when you check it with a Cobra, you go to channel 20, you go to calibrate.
Yep.
Key the mic, move the calibrate knob to where the needle on the meter lines up all the way to the right where that little red arrow is. Then you unkey the mic, flip the switch from calibrate to SWR, and then you key the mic again, and then it will tell you what the SWR is, sir.
So on 40.
Channel 20, right in the center of the band.
Channel 20, okay.
Sorry, I had to take a phone call. AJP Midnight Blues asked, what would be a good amp to run with the Striker 497?
The Striker 497 already has a 1-pill amp in it. Tuned correctly, it should do 150 watts. So if you're going to run an amp on that, you got to get a high drive amp.
All right, so when I set the calibrate to where it's supposed to be and hit the SWR, the needle doesn't move at all.
Well, I would doubt that. I'm not saying you're wrong because you're not, but I would doubt the radio. I would put an antenna analyzer on it. So that's the reason why we use analyzers in the shop and not an SWR meter.
Right.
So the proper way to tune an antenna is with ohms, receive loss, and reactance. The byproduct of those three numbers is SWR. So you can have a good SWR, but if the other numbers are off, you're not going to get out. and so it's hard to tell without putting a antenna analyzer on it.
The height of the antenna won't matter though, or will it matter?
Is the truck fiberglass?
Yes.
Then the antenna doesn't even see it.
Okay. I was just curious about the trailer. I've always heard that before. We had to be up higher than the trailer.
Well, you don't talk off the tip. You talk off the whole whip.
Okay.
And you're not wrong. I mean, that wives' tale's been going around for 50 years. That's not your fault. But the longer the whip, the bigger radiation pattern you have, and the further you're going to talk in here. Is it the stock antenna that came with the truck?
No, it's got a Wilson 2000 on it.
Okay. Yeah, Wilsons are made in China. Get a good antenna.
Okay.
Predator, Viper, and believe it or not, the Fire Stick, the 4-foot Fire Stick with the tunable tip, the part number is FS4. That is a 5/8 wave antenna, and those usually perform really well back there. We do hundreds, if not more, of those installs every year, and they work just fine.
Okay. I got 2 of those at the shop, so I'll swap that out.
Yeah, but you're going to have a way to tune it. You just can't swap it out.
Right.
Yeah, so if you get it tuned up down there to a 1.1, 1.2, that should perform way better.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Oh, no, anytime. And my phone number is right there in the bio. So if you ever have any questions, just give me a call at the shop. And if I don't answer, leave me a message. I'll call you back.
Okay.
Z71 is on a roll. He just got the tiny dinies.
Good gravy. Look at old Big Bart.
Hey,
He's a man not to mess with.
Yeah, right. Midnight Blues, the Striker SRA 10 antenna, that's a damn good antenna. Again, depends on what you have it on. If it's on a vehicle, if it's on a pickup, a car, or if it's on a semi, it all depends on what you're putting it on. But they're really good antennas.
Yeah, man, you just missed it about 20 minutes ago. We were talking about that. The A10 antenna was made correctly. The coil inside that antenna is the correct length. Remember, everything with radios, mics, antennas, it's all about numbers. It's all math. And if the math don't add up, it ain't going to work.
Hey, Joe Hofstadter, welcome in.
Yeah, I know that one that we put on the pilot car. It lights up blue. I'm like, yeah, you can't hide when you're running your little mouth now, can you?
Yep, those A10s are great. I have one on mine.
Yeah, that's what we put on that Hyundai. And like I said, it's just the car. And you're talking about the fender mounts and stuff. You can't even do that on that thing, the way the car is designed. So,
yeah,
like
that
I said,
sucks.
when she gets her van, it'll be a lot better. But yeah, I got that antenna for her, and I seen it lit up blue, and I'm like, I'm kind of jealous of that. My truck's blue. It would look better on my truck than it would your car. But
Absolutely.
Hey, Jim London, welcome in.
I've seen some where they changed the light to something else because I think some of the states are illegal to run blue and they're worried about getting pulled over for it. So I think I've seen some in orange and some green and some other stuff.
Yeah, you can put whatever LEDs you want in them. Literally, all you got to do is just lay an LED in that can, and it will pick up the RF.
Mm-hmm. Brentley Youngman asks, RCX9 or 955?
Well, it depends what you like for features. The new X9 HP is a 250 watt radio. The new 955 Plus does 100 watts. They both have sideband. They both have good talkback. They both have good echo. Now, I'm a Ranger guy. So if it was my choice, I'd buy the X9.
keep on talking about that X9. I'm going to bring a pile of radios and go, all right, let's make a deal here.
I wrap my tape. We can't run any blue lights.
Well, you're not running a blue light.
No.
No, that guy said that he can't run blue lights. Well, you're not running a blue light. It just lights up when you key the mic. That's different.
Yeah, and I've gone through most of those states east of Texas that you can't run blue, and I've never had an issue with um, anybody telling me about that blue light in there.
I don't think it's bright. I mean, you can definitely see it, but I don't think it's bright enough.
And it's not flashing. It's not
Yeah.
like an emergency light, so they really don't consider that as an emergency light.
Right, and more,
Yeah, Brentley asks also, do you have a X9 HP?
Yeah, we got them in stock, and but I get 2 shipments a week of radios, in the beginning of the week and the end of the week. So, if it's something you want to order, just call the shop and we'll get it shipped out to you that week.
Evening, a
Yeah.
timer, the band 516, reading the mail in the Keystone State, reading.
audio, test 1, 2, audio.
Nice.
Yeah, that's bullshit. I would fight that. 'Cause it's not a flashing light.
It oscillates more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grandpa Roger, I have one you Grandpa, what state was that in, just out of curiosity?
Yeah. So my wife has that Striker A10 mag mount on her truck, and our gate is 62 yards away from the driveway. And I could be by the gate, and I can key up my big 94 with a 102 whip, and I can light up her antenna.
We used to do that with, oh God, we used to take and put a shop light, one of them small fluorescent
Yeah.
lights on the end.
Yeah.
Dana
Yep.
Kerr, welcome in.
Yep. That's cool.
Illinois. That's interesting because I ran through Illinois even at night with my A10 talking on it with police escorts. They never really told us anything about it, so that's interesting. It's good to know. I'll have to look into that.
No,
Yeah,
it sounds like he had an asshole for a cop.
Yeah. All right, Night Train,
Yeah.
you have a good night there, sir. 73.
Yeah, because I live in Illinois, and until I got popped out in Utah, of all places, I have 6 lights in the back of the cab, and I had the glass. I got LEDs with the blue glass 4-inch covers. I used to run
Nice.
those in Illinois all the time, and this son of a bitch, I mean, it was a blue glow behind it. Never
Nice.
had a problem until I was in freaking Utah, Park City, Utah, and got popped. They weren't even on, but because they were a blue light, and I had the ability to turn them on because of the blue lenses. He wrote me for that. Didn't have the reflective tape on the mud flap hangers, even though I was hooked to a trailer, so they kicked that one. And because I didn't have the GVW on the side of my truck, well, that's state law. I'm not licensed out of Utah. I am licensed out of Illinois. Illinois doesn't require you have the GVW on the side of the truck. And I took that
Yeah,
to
he was
safety. I'm
just-
like, here.
Yeah,
Oh,
Utah's
yeah.
totally
He was
different
being a
state.
dick.
Oh,
And
yeah.
one-
Bend over
he's
on
still
that
in
one.
Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Brentley said he'll be there Tuesday, so the X9 HP with either an SRA10 or whichever antenna bonds to the truck or tuned properly will be the route I go.
Okay, yeah. Well, just so you know, I'm not trying to be a jerk or nothing, but if they're not prepaid, and if someone comes in and buys it, they buy it. So if that's something you want and it sells, I'll order it for you, and when it comes in, I'll get it tuned up and all that shit. But I think I only have one X9, one 99N4, and one 94 HP, and I know I have more coming in on Tuesday. So just to give you heads up, I do have
Yeah,
it,
great
but
work,
but if it sells on Monday, it's going to sell.
So pissed off Dirt Man goes, I didn't think they could write that being tagged out of state. Utah's laws are just Utah. They're
Yes.
weird.
Yeah. Hey, CJ, take over. I'll be right back.
Alrighty.
Yeah, it was crazy. And he's walking around the trailer and all this other shit, and he goes, well, I was pulling my little 40-ton at the time, had the flip axle down on it, and he went to grab his tape measure. I'm like, what are you grabbing your tape for? Well, your length. Yeah? And what about my length? Well, you're going to be over 74 feet. No, I'm not. I've only got a 24-foot well on this trailer. even with the flip, I was only 74 feet. He goes, well, it's over 80. I can tell. Go ahead and get your tape out, bud. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, even for us pilot cars, Utah's just a nightmare. I try not to run Utah if I don't have to.
Yeah.
So, Grandpa Roger, are you mounting it on a truck or on a small car? Because it's gonna where you're gonna mount it's gonna be where it's gonna have the best ground plane.
Yep.
Hey, pissed off dirt man, how you doing? Welcome in.
I'm good. How are y'all tonight?
Oh, we're doing great.
I got you.
Pickup. It's gonna be wherever it tunes best to. Could be Magman on the roof. It all depends on where the best ground plane, where it likes the best part of the truck.
That's what I would do. Is roof. I mean, that's normally what.
Yeah, roof is typically the best. Now, depending on if it's the newer trucks, the 2000s are up. Most of them are gonna be aluminum, and it's harder if you want to do it on a headache rack. It's not the best because it doesn't have contact with the metal. So it's just going to be the best place that it can find a ground plane.
Yep. Because I've got on my pickup at home, it's set up. We got a Barney's rack and all that stuff on it. And an antenna doesn't tune up on that new Barney rack, but I've got a magnet mount in the center of the cab and it works good.
Yeah. So Grandpa Roger, I wouldn't say a roof mount. I'd say more of a magnet mount would probably be your best bet. But then again, it depends on where it tunes best on your truck. AJP Midnight Blues, you're back, right?
Doesn't look like.
Okay.
Oh, yep.
He wants to know, would a Rocket Box 500 HD amp work fairly well paired with the Striker 497 and the A10 antenna?
As long as it's a high drive box, yes. And as long as the antenna tunes up really, really good, yeah. But you'll get better performance with a 102 whip when you're running big power.
Bricker19, hey, fine people. Wayne, welcome in.
What's up, Wayne? How are you tonight?
Yeah, I ain't running any power right now. I just got old Cobra 29, but that's what I run, 102-inch whip. Can't beat them.
No, yeah, it's hard to beat a 102, man. And 102 whips love power. You put a little Texas Star DX 250 or a 350 on that, and that's the perfect amp for that radio. Boom.
Yeah.
What was
what Jay hasn't said yet for those that are coming in, probably here soon, not sure when, he's supposed to start getting amps from 307 amps. So they're pillboxes. It should be a little more. I'll let you describe it.
They shipped today. Or yesterday. Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah, so we're 307 amps is building custom amplifiers for the shop. 2-pill, 4-pill, 6-pill, 8, whatever you want. And they all have the sideband biased. So, yeah, they're nice amps. And we're going to be doing some cool shit, man. We're going to customize them. We're going to paint them to match your truck, laser engrave them, pin striping, lettering, whatever you want.
Are you going to get a shipment from him every week then, or just as you order, he'll build them?
As we order. I made a small order this time just to see how they go. And if they're going to be bigger, hell yeah, we'll order more.
There you go.
What are you getting for a 4-pill?
Don't know yet. So it depends on what they want for customization. So
Wayne says his first CB was a Sears Road Talker. God, I haven't heard that name in a while.
dude, I had one of those on my bench about 6 months ago. Had a unit and board in it. But yeah, good radio. Now the 4-pill, since we're talking about that, what kind of vehicle is it going in?
It's a Dodge pickup, mega cab.
How many amps is the alternator?
It's a big one. I think 160.
Are you sure?
Pretty positive. I just replaced it not long ago. It's got a big alternator on it.
If it's a 160, you'll be okay.
A 160 or 130. I think it's a 160 though.
What motor's in it?
Cummins 6.7.
Oh, 6.7. Yeah, that'll have a 180 on it.
180. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Note it's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be okay with that then. Yeah. So remember we were watching the videos the other night there. Bart had the videos up there. And Hey Bart, do you remember what that 4-pill was doing? It was something stupid.
Was the 4-pill the one doing the 1500? I can't remember.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
No.
yeah, it was cooking.
What
4-pill in this truck probably shut every computer down in it.
what kind of
Hey, Derek, welcome in.
Even my amp I got in here now,
Welcome in.
even my amp in here now, it'll kick my cruise out every once in a while.
Remember, I brought an ECM on a 12.7 Detroit with a Texas Star 600 or 650 back in the day. Put it in the truck, wired it up, going down the road, keyed it up. Whoop.
Really?
That was back. That was a 90. Model was that truck? It was a 96 day cab.
Wow.
And it was mounted underneath the passenger seat. And as soon as I keyed it up, the fucking motor quit. I'm like, uh-oh.
That's no good.
Took it back to Penske, and they're like, yeah, something fried the ECM. I'm like, uh-oh. I didn't say another word.
1997, welcome in.
All right, so guys, remember, everything with radios is math, right? So if you got an amplifier that's doing 1,500 watts divided by 14 volts, that's 107 amps.
Yep. Yeah, and of course, back in that, I just throwed it in there. It was my fault, but whew, I was like, yeah, let's not do that anymore.
Yeah, I'm surprised mine kicks my cruise out. I don't know.
Hey, Milton, welcome in.
Yeah, you put a 102 whip on it, and it'll probably stop that.
Probably. You see, for a while it never used to, and then as I kept running it, and then it started kicking the cruise out. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just RF getting in the computer.
You've hit 10,000 likes.
Already? Damn.
Yeah.
That's right. I love my noise toy.
People too.
where are y'all out of the TV shop?
My shop's at Lisa's Truck Center in Moriarty, New Mexico.
Mexico.
Exit 197 on I-40.
Yeah, you can just Google Thunder Valley CB shop. It'll come up.
I got you. Yeah, I've never been that far west. I'm in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Get your website back up yet, Jay, or not yet?
Hell no, I haven't had time to mess with it. If it's kind of slow tomorrow, I'll give him a call. But I just don't have the time to deal with it. And that's why I'd hired that guy to do it. And he started getting real greedy, and I just told him to kick rocks.
Yeah,
right,
kick rocks, pal.
3 Philly cheeseburgers.
Yep.
Because we know how to do it right.
Well, this is one thing that some people don't understand. I don't care how good of friends we are, how close we are. At the end of the day, that's my shop. And I run things my way.
That's right.
And I do it for a reason. I don't do it to be a jerk or nothing, but it's for a reason. And that reason is because it works.
Bohunk wants to know how many amps in a Texas Star 667.
Those do about 600 watts-ish, depending on the voltage that you're driving them with. Also depends on which 667 you're talking about. So if you take 600 watts divided by 14 volts, that's going to give you the amp draw.
Home sweet home for the night.
Nice.
Alabama. So roughly, if it's a 600 watt kicker, you're going to pull about 42 amps-ish. And that brings up another subject. So if it's pulling 40 amps, then you want to have an alternator or a power supply that does at least 80. You want to double it. So if it's pulling 100 amps, you want a 200 amp alternator.
That gets expensive real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you got a shop around that'll actually rebuild an alternator the way you want it, you can usually there's not very many of those around anymore.
This is getting stupid.
Yeah. Very true.
Because we used to have a place there in Lakeland when I lived down in Florida. We had a place called Hurricane Automotive. That's where we took all the alternators and starters to. And if you took him a 130 alternator, when you got it back, it was at least a 180. He didn't believe in rebuilding them to lowest as they could be. He always
he's
modified
smart.
them.
Yeah, but as a businessman, he's smart because that alternator is going to work half as hard. It's going to last longer.
That's right.
Yeah. That's the one thing I still can't figure out. And all this new technology with brushless motors and stuff, like that little Hyundai back there, we blew out the fan motor and stuff because, been in them dust storms, blew everything out. Why have they not gone to brushless motors on like engine fans and stuff like that? All of them are still brushed.
Because the brushless motor is a 3-phase motor. It's AC, not DC. Yeah. So if you look at like the RC drag cars that we run, the RC rock crawlers, they're all brushless motors, but they got 3 wires going to them, not 2.
Right.
Yep.
It's AC.
Gotcha.
So the speed controller changes the DC voltage from the battery to AC.
Gotcha.
Someone said the best chopped green chili cheeseburger around. You talking about Lisa's? Yeah, they got good food.
Yep. Bo Humphrey's answered his. Grandpa's been installing 5 alternators on a 2004 Suburban.
5? Jesus.
And then Midnight Blues goes, I know it's hard to say, but what should the range be on a Striker 497 and the A10 antenna?
No idea.
It depends on a lot of
how
things.
the antenna tunes up.
Depends on antenna, depends on AM sideband. I mean, what do you
there's no sideband on a 497.
Not on the 497, there's not.
But it all depends on how the antenna tunes up. So can you tell me the SWR, the ohms, the receive loss, and the reactance? And if you could tell me those 4 numbers, I could guesstimate for you. If those numbers all line up good, and it's on a big roof like a crew cab pickup truck or something like that, oh, man, I don't know, probably 15, 20 miles is not out of the question. But it all depends on how the antenna tunes. It's not the radio, guys. Get the radio out of your head. All the magic happens in the antenna.
You can have the best radio money can buy and the cheapest antenna, and it ain't going to talk no better than the Walmart radio is going to talk.
That's right. And it's kind of funny you say that, because the analogy that I give, you go out and buy a 308 Savage and you put a Walmart scope on it, you're going to limit the gun with the cheap scope. Same with the antenna.
Yep.
See, so Midnight Blues goes, don't know the others, but the SWR is a 1.2 across all channels.
Yeah, well, I don't know either, because you can have a good SWR, but all the other numbers could be off. And that's what makes the antenna talk. So without putting an analyzer on it, I don't know. But if everything lines up at a 1.2, yeah, I don't know. I think 15 miles, not out of the question. Wayne says, good analogy. Well, it's true, right, Wayne? I mean, your antenna's everything. It's funny how people spend all this money on these big radios and they put a Wilson antenna or a Francis antenna on their truck. And I'm like, really?
I remember that one with the Francis conversation.
Dude, right? What the hell?
Yeah.
Hey, Mud Duck, welcome in. You want to get in a box?
Mud Duck. What's up, my friend?
Yeah, he was in, but he's not anymore.
Any of y'all got a ham radio ticket?
Well, not legally.
I got you.
Hey, Boss Rob, welcome in. Okay, he says not right now. Okay.
That's cool. I talk on ham, GMRS, all that stuff, and I got my GMRS license. But as far as the ham goes, dude, there's just too many sad hams on the radio, and it makes it not fun.
There you
Yep. Wilson, they used to have good antennas back in the day, or were they always junk? They were good back until China started making them. Welcome in, Chicken Buck.
Yeah, back in the day, there were really good antennas. Same with Browning and Hustler, and now they're all made in China. It's not the same antenna.
I still got a Wilson from I got it from a buddy that he said he bought it at least 40 years ago.
When did they start
Yeah, and it's
making?
still working.
Yep.
When they sell them out to China?
About 12, 13 years ago.
I got you.
You can tell by the looking at the can. It's got
Hey,
that
that
newer
guy with lots
style
of
look to it,
carbon.
and it's got a different coil in it, and it's not the same. So back in the old days, there was enough room in a Wilson antenna to move it up and down to get it to tune. Now I got to cut 4 to 6 inches off the whip to make it to tune up. So there you go.
Tells you all you need to know,
Grandpa
right?
Roger, will agree with that one. We need more radios built in the U.S. and more antenna builders.
There you go. That's what you need right there.
What antennas y'all recommend? I got into the ham radio for a while and kind of not really got bored with it, but I've had to move several times and I ain't got an antenna up right now.
For a base antenna?
No, for mobile. What's the good mobile antennas now?
The mobile antenna that I sell at the shop are made by Comet.
Comet.
And it's the SSB-15. It's a tri-band antenna. It does 2 meter, 6 meter, and 70 centimeter, which is GMRS.
I got you.
So, Bohunk, real quick, best magnetic mount for a truck, if it's like for a pickup truck or anything, it'd be the SRA-10. Everyone's afraid of the CB radio. Oh, I don't think it's they're afraid of them. OG Poppy says he loves the CB. Do you have a dual band radio or a single band?
Yeah, Brantley, 73s, man. You have a good night. Thanks for jumping in here, man. I appreciate
Hey,
it.
Brantley, 73, have a good night. Real quick, let's see. Mud Duck, do you have a dual band radio or a single band? Who are you asking? And then Midnight Blues, we need more CB shops as well. I'm from Indiana and we only have 1 or 2 still open.
Thing with that is,
and then Wayne's asking a Hustler HF.
Well, the Hustler antennas, they're not bad, but the problem with Hustlers is they got real short whips.
problem with CB shops is these old guys never trained anybody new, and most of them are gone now.
Yep, that's exactly right. There's too many YouTube technicians.
Oh, exactly.
Are those any tone in-measure radios?
It is a lost start there, Wayne.
Oh, the Anytone.
Christina.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, so the Anytone radios, I don't know, man. They're really cheap.
They're cheap.
When they first came out, they had a lot of issues with the transmit circuit blowing out the finals. And I guess they got that fixed up because there's a lot of people running them. But when you put them on a spectrum analyzer, they're not clean. They're dirty. They're transmitting over multiple channels.
I got you.
I run a quad 6 and a quad 5, and I mean they're not bad. They've been great for me, but who's to say for somebody else? I guess.
Yeah, exactly. 27555 says Anytone works great.
Anytone works great if you're not familiar with great radios. Does that make sense? That's like saying when you get your first car, my Hyundai is the best car I've ever had. Well, you know, when you jump into a Hemi Barracuda, you're like, holy shit, that's a big difference.
Yep. You really get what you pay for. I mean, quad 6.
Absolutely.
It's $250.
Right.
Quad 5 probably $280. I mean, it's
yeah, and for the money, I mean, you can't beat it, right?
Exactly.
But if you really want performance, nah, that's not it.
Well, and just it all depends on what you want. I mean, like something that's a menu feature style radio, or you want one that's, you got to dial it in your, you know,
Exactly, Wayne.
that's
Yeah.
why I didn't like that president I had. I had a president that you had to set everything through the menu. I ran it about 2 days, and I was like, I couldn't deal with that. Having to go in the menu, change something, set it, and then something would happen and go back to where it was. I was like, no.
Speakers customs will come in.
That's how the Anytone is too, like your mic gain and everything. That's all in a menu.
Yeah.
No, I'd rather just reach up there and turn a knob real quick. Because a lot of times, especially with what we do, CJ, we don't have time to go into a menu and shit like that. Because that's why I'm like, I wish the Ranger mics were, instead of, I still like the feel of my old Road King, but I know the Ranger works better. But God, it takes me a long time to get used to that being on the left side instead of the right. I wish it was on.
No, you're right, and a lot of the older truck drivers, they all have the same problem. And the other issue is keeping it real close against your mouth, right? And
that doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me a bit. But I like being able to key it with my thumb rather than having to, grab the whole damn mic. You know? And I don't even know if it'd be even capable of taking the guts out of a Ranger.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, I know, because like I said, I love that. I love my old, and God, if I could get home and see if I still have some of my original RK56s laying around, because I don't even know if you can get parts for them anymore or not for the original.
No. But it's not just that. It's the ohms of the mic, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of these newer radios, the board is designed for a microphone with 200 ohms of impedance, and the RK doesn't have it.
Right. That's what yours. Yeah. Remember, I changed mine out at the shop that day.
Yeah. And it sounds so much better.
AJ, real quick. Sorry, don't mean to interrupt. Midnight Blues goes, opinion on the 29 LX Cobra. Got a buddy with one, and he has a lot of problems with the screen.
Yeah. Yeah, Cobra's gotten so bad. I don't even carry Cobra in the shop anymore. So does that answer your question? If you want an entry-level radio, look at the Uniden PC78. Much better radio and twice the power.
Yep.
And I sell those radios with my tune-up on them for $150.
Yep.
Jay, what kind of tri-band antenna was that you said you had?
It was the Comet SSB15. That's the antenna I run on my truck.
Yeah, pistol. What kind of ham radio are you talking about? A dual band, 2 meter 440, or what?
I've got both. I got that and HF also. I've got a lot. I've actually in my truck. I'm running a Yaesu, that 400 or whatever it's called. I don't care much for it. In the house, I've got a ICOM 2730 dual band. That's
nice.
a dual radio.
Nice.
Yeah. CJ, I'll be right back. Take over.
Okay.
For HF, I've got a Yaesu 991A, and then I've got the FTDX10 also.
Yeah. Well, I run President Washington for 10 meter in my car, and I use the Stryker SRA10.
Hey, Firefighter Adam, welcome in.
And at home, I run the FT450D for my HF.
Okay.
And I've got a Yaesu FTM 500D for my dual band 2 meter 440.
How do you like that?
27555. As soon as Jay gets back, we'll ask him that question on your 4-pill amp.
Oh, I love my 500D. And I'm getting ready to do the modification to go to the, be able to transmit on the, what is it, y'all call that, HMRS?
The
GMR.
GMRS?
Yeah, GMRS. I'm
I
getting ready to do a
bought
modification for it.
I bought this 400 I've got brand new down here. I'm from Tennessee. I went down to Gigaparts in Huntsville and picked this one up. And, um,
Hey, Grandpa Roger, welcome back in.
when I first got licensed, that's the radio I wanted, and messed around, and that's when they kind of changed from the first series of 400 to the XDR series. You know, there's two different series of that 400.
Right.
And when I went to get it, everybody was sold out of it and you couldn't get it. So I bought the ICOM 5100 and absolutely fell in love with that radio. And then a couple years later, I was able to get that 400, and I've hated it since the day I bought it. Don't like it at all. I run it in my truck just for the APRS. That's the only thing I use it for, really.
Right.
I don't know. It's like you can't run it on.
Is Who Rooster there? 27.
Can't run it on high power. I don't know. It don't work on high power.
Well, here at home, I'm thinking about buying the Yaesu FTDX, the 101 MP.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I just can't swallow the price of it yet.
That thing's it's expensive. I got a buddy that's got one, and hey, I tell you that FTDX10. You know, it's not a 200-watt radio, but I like working contests, and that thing has amazed me of how. I mean, you can pull out a little 100-watt station in between, in between a kilowatt stations, 2 kilowatt stations. You know, you can filter out those big signals and pull out that little signal. It's amazing how.
Old Sure 526, that rock big time. I think I remember the old Sure ones. Hey, Jay, you back yet? No.
Okay, I'll get out of here. I just wanted to ask you about that.
Where you out of, Mud Duck?
Missouri.
Missouri.
Hey, Jesse Moore, welcome in.
Is ham radio very active over where you're at?
Well, I'm close to Kansas City, so we get a lot of this stuff, and
I got you.
We got several repeaters around.
Good night, Wayne. 73's team, my friend. Yo, Jesse, how you doing?
Oh boy, I should have never even looked up DX Engineering's website.
All right, Jay, got one for you.
What's up?
27555 asks, guys, how much a 4-pill amp should get out normally on 500 watts?
I don't know.
Depends on what time of day.
Antenna.
A lot of factors there.
Yeah.
I think he asked if a 4-pill, what do you normally get out of a 4-pill? And he thought maybe 500 watts, because there's a question mark there too. I don't know.
Well,
yeah, I probably didn't read it
so,
right.
Like a 4-pill Texas Star, they'll do about 350-ish.
It depends which
But
4-pill you get, I guess.
these newer amps, yeah, they do more. So it just depends on the amp.
And Wayne's stepping out. He's gonna said good night. He goes, "This is the best live that he has been in his opinion."
Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that, man. 73s. God bless.
Midnight Blues. Can you guys get parts for the Telberry 5x5 or a Robin SX 402D?
It depends on which parts. Santa Rosa.
Yeah, I was going to just say Santa Rosa. Wait, Santa Rosa, California or Santa Rosa, New Mexico? Because there's two Santa Rosas. pretty sure it's gonna be New Mexico, probably.
More than likely.
Heading to Utah. Good luck.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, thinks they just use it on SSB. I guess should read only.
Only PAP.
Peak envelope power. Yeah, it's hard to say, man. It just depends on what parts. A lot of the older radios, most of the parts that are
That's
in an
what it
older
kinda
radio are pretty available. It's just basic stuff, but it depends on the part.
Jesse's only what, an hour and 10 minutes from where we're at. Diesel Blood, welcome in.
Well, all right, Jesse, I'm on 19. I'm waiting to hear from you.
Lots of contacts today on 37 LSB.
Oh yeah, bunches.
I like to get a sideband radio for my mobile.
They're pretty fun. We're hitting the top of the cycles this year too.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I ran HF mobile in my truck. I was
High Rides
running
Media, welcome in.
for a while, and I had a big Tar Heel screwdriver antenna mounted on the side of my truck, and it worked
Nice.
pretty good. But
Yeah. You want a good entry level sideband radio, look at the 955 Striker. Those are pretty good. They're easy to use. My opinion, you want something a little better? The 94 Galaxy Big Rig series. That's what I run on my pickup.
I got you. My problem is I got a bunch of kids, so it's hard to throw a bunch of money at a radio.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I bought all my ham radio gear when the kids was kind of growing up, and then we had two little ones back to back after we thought we was done, and it kind of throwed a loop in everything. So.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you screw around.
That's
And
it.
have you figured out what causes that yet?
We have.
Like, yeah, for the longest time I ran, the only thing I'd run is usually Cobra 25s. Then when my son, he finally got old enough where I didn't have to worry about, then I bought my first Galaxy. That was a 45DX. And now it's like, got 2 or 3 Galaxies, a couple of Strikers, and now I want one of those freaking Rangers for some stupid reason.
That's
Jay
what
keeps on putting videos out on them. I'm like,
Hey, Jeff, welcome in.
What is that? Is it 2995 N2 or what's the numbers on that Ranger? Ain't it something like that?
It's the 99 N2 or N4.
I got you.
Hey, James, welcome in. So, as far as your question, Midnight Blues, not only did the FCC get him, but one of our district attorneys popped him. So he's not around anymore. Talking about Mud Duck, hasn't heard him on 19 in a while. He's not around anymore.
Yeah.
oh,
And
finally.
then,
Yeah.
And then Jesse Moore, doesn't the Galaxy 94 have a side mic input? It won't fit in his cubby.
I'm
Yes, it
changing
does.
my name.
Yeah. Yes, it
I'm-
does.
I'm changing my name.
What about
No,
the,
man, I like it. Just hey, I like it because we've already had people question that. Is that the Mud Duck? What do you
Yeah,
think?
he was annoying.
Yeah. I mean, if someone would honestly think that I would let that guy in my life, good gravy. Here's a broom. I don't know what else to tell you. There's no common sense. But you know, I mean, I guess in a way it's a valid question, right? Because the way things are in this world today, I mean, shit, you never know. But the funny thing about that guy, every time he would sit there and talk shit about the shop, we got slammed. It was awesome.
Is that the one in the desert? Back to the bench. Is that who y'all talking about?
Yeah.
Yep. Jesse Moore goes, "This is my first live." He downloaded the app just for us.
Hell yeah.
But
Really?
then I fit in, and if he was annoying, that's me.
Well, we appreciate that, Jesse.
Good
John
dude,
Sattler,
annoying
welcome
as hell. Now, wait a minute. Are we talking about the original Mud Duck? Because, you know, that guy's got pedophile charges on him, right? So I don't know about the whole good dude thing.
No, I think it was supposed to be like good. Dude was annoying as hell.
Oh, I got you. Okay, cool. I misread
How
that.
about the 5'1" guy on 38 LSB? Who's him?
Oh, fuck. I know. That guy just keys at the mic and he goes 1111111. That's all he does.
One, 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 one.
Yeah.
Not me.
Hey, you sounded pretty close to him, man.
I don't have enough time in my day to sit there and one, one, one,
Right?
one, one.
Right?
Well, it ain't
Wait,
me
welcome in.
because it ain't me because I got a mud duck radio. I can't get across the street.
Now, see, in my generation, when you have a mud duck radio, that means you got a big station. But anyway, all right. So we got a newcomer join the live. What's going on, man? James, what's up?
He's sleeping.
Hey, Calvin Allen, welcome in.
Yeah, what's up?
Well, gentlemen, I appreciate y'all letting me up. I'm gonna jump off here and go in here and make sure these youngins is down and ready for the school in the morning. So y'all have a good one.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
too,
don't
man.
forget
Thanks
to-
for joining the live. I appreciate it,
Don't
bud.
forget to like and follow. You have a good night. 73s.
Yeah, I do too. 7-3.
73s.
Old school
All right,
Cowboy
James.
fan, welcome in.
James, can you hear us?
Hey, Kelso. Alligator Radio, all talk, no ears. LOL.
That's right.
I think he knows me because that's what I.
Hey, Sanchez, welcome in. Let's see if I can do this.
Hey, James, that just joined the live, man. All you got to do is talk, and you're on the live. Make sure your mic ain't muted.
Yeah, it's not muted. I'm not showing them muted.
It's not muted.
Well, guys, I just want to say thanks real quick for all the likes and all the shares and everyone who subscribed to the page. And don't forget our gifts up there. That helps pay for doing all these lives every day.
.516 with no conditions around the Keystone State is going 10-7 break.
All right, my friend. Thank you so much for joining the live. You have a good day, sir. 73s.
73s.
Old school cowboy.
Pissed off Dirt Man became the number 11 member on the team.
Nice.
Might get loud here
Yeah.
in a second. Train's going past my house, so might hear it.
I wonder if James's phone didn't do what mine did earlier and freeze up on him.
Maybe. Hey, James, log out, log back in real quick. See if that helps.
Hey, Jeff, welcome in.
Oh, my phone must not be picking up the horn. It's loud here.
No, I don't hear it at all.
I can't hear anything over here either. We're almost at 12,000 likes.
That's awesome. Thank you there, old school cowboy, for all the likes, man. I sure do appreciate it. That's really cool.
You just hit 12,000.
Congratulations. Well done.
I love that damn thing.
Oh, God, just wait till I have mine.
I know, right?
Oh, now he muted his mic and he's paused.
Yeah, that's okay. Let them log back in. See if it works.
Oh boy.
So what are you gonna do tonight, Bart?
Well, right now we're window shopping on DX Engineering, so. No, tonight I'm gonna get a good night's sleep. I'll tell you that much.
Uh-huh. No parties tonight, huh?
No, sir.
He had enough of that last night.
Last night
Been there,
was,
done that.
yeah. Yeah, 2 nights of that was enough.
Man, I gotta tell you, one night up there in Duluth, a couple of my Navy buddies came up to visit, and we hit Mitch's bar, Mitch's pool hall there in Duluth, drank all their Crown, went to the junkyard, drank all their Crown. Then we took a cab over to Superior, went into a bar, and drank all their Crown. Came back home at 5 in the morning, and we had a fifth left, and we drank that and went to bed.
Ooh, the next day was not fun.
Nope. Woke up the next morning just fine.
There you go.
But it's crazy, man. God, those fucking Navy guys, man, they can drink. Whew.
Oh yeah. Yes, they can.
But I'll be honest with you, man. Those days are over. I haven't drank like that in, I don't know, 15 years. Yeah, old school cowboy bitch can't do that no more. No, you're right. I cannot do that anymore. Nope. I woke up one morning and my check engine light came on and my body said, no more of that shit. And I said, okie dokie.
Yeah, my other buddy I was with, he slept till he ate, and then he went right back to bed.
Yep.
AJ, here's a good background for us. Move it out of the way.
What you got there? Ooh.
Oh, there's the old Dodge. There's the old Dodge. Yeah, CJ and I met up at a little coffee shop today, and they make these little sandwiches out of bagels, turkey sandwich and stuff. It's pretty good. Had some coffee and smoked a cigar and just sat there and bullshitted for a couple hours. We had a good time.
Oh yeah, it was great.
I got a good video for you. I don't know if I can. I might be able to pull it up on my computer and play it. I don't know. We'll have to figure this out. Here it is. Good old El Camino. My grandpa's got one, and I took it to prom one year.
Oh, nice. Man, we're up to 12,800 likes. That's crazy.
I'd keep liking, but my finger got wore out.
What's going on, man? Thank you so much. How you doing tonight?
All right. Well, I've talked to you a few times on the phone.
Yeah.
Well, I used to go by 229 South Georgia, but I changed it.
Nice. Yeah. What are you now?
I'm the old school cowboy.
Oh, copy that. Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of miss them old school days. Excuse me. You know, it's funny, when you're younger and you're living those days, you don't think about it.
Oh,
it's just normal, right?
Oh, yeah. It was very normal.
Right. And now when you look back on it, you're like, damn, I miss those days. Everything was so much simpler. There was less bullshit. No one got offended.
No one was soft.
Yeah.
Hey, Carlos, welcome in.
Nobody was, yeah, my pronouns are he, they, or they, them, or...
Pronouns, yeah.
It, this. Or,
the first time I heard that, I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
Uh-huh.
Right. I identify as an Apache attack helicopter.
I got a patch on my sunglass case that says I identify as a pissed off A-10 Warhog.
That was good. I like that one.
There you go.
That is one plane you do not want to piss off.
Remember that one that I put you on with Ryan Kelly when he made the joke with GE?
Yeah.
Here, this is the easiest way to show you the video of the El Camino. It's through TikTok, but
nice.
Wow, that's clean.
we gotta throw the sound on for it.
Well, they just get you into trouble. A wise man once said, good cars get you from point A to point B. Great cars. Well, they just...
Oh boy, a little foreign language in there, but it's alright.
A wise man once said...
Yeah, that's nice.
Oh, are y'all from New Mexico?
Yeah, my shop's at Lisa's Truck Center, Moriarty.
I knew we wasn't going to get through the night without watching CJ eat.
Hey, I gotta eat the rest of the pizza before it goes bad.
Before it goes bad.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yep.
And
Hey,
there,
it's
You can eat pizza.
you know
about
pizza
3
from
days
your
old.
day.
and
You
there
got
ain't
good
nothing wrong
pizzas.
with pizza for breakfast.
That's right.
Nope. But when the kids leave it out, it goes bad. Hey, at least it's not enchiladas this time.
Right? When I left the live there a minute ago, I went and got some spaghetti. My wife made me some homemade spaghetti before she left.
That's
So
always
I
the
figured,
best.
oh yeah, I figured I better eat that shit up before she gets home and she's gonna get mad at me. No, it's really good, man. I tell you what, I'm so damn lucky. I really do have the best wife. She never complains, never bitches. We do everything together: shoot guns, talk on the radio, hunting, camping, fishing. She's a good fly fisherman, actually, and she learned from her dad. And yeah, she's just a great person. Very calm, never yells, and that's exactly what I need because I'm the opposite. I'd be the first one to like punch in the mouth, right? And I'm like, ah, and she's like the real calm one.
Mm.
Hey,
I mean, I don't know.
welcome in.
Yeah, welcome in, but I guess I am pretty calm. The older I get, the calmer I get. But
Again, that
I
goes with our
don't.
conversation earlier.
Sure, yeah. But there's one thing that I do not have any patience for, and that's ignorance.
There, that's how close we got to the border, Will.
Oh, hold on.
Ain't gonna get too close.
No, there's a border patrol agent sitting there, and we went up to him and asked, "Hey, can we go up to the wall?" It was open, and next thing you know, we had about 4 more cars coming through the border, and the helicopter was right above us.
That's a cow
Nice.
crossing where they shoot the cows across from Mexico.
Yeah, that was.
Hey, that guy, welcome in.
I think that I don't remember if that was in Mission or if that was in Reynosa.
Good evening, everybody. How the hell are we?
Pretty damn good. How about yourself?
Doing really good, man. How you been?
Man, I cannot complain. I had a pretty damn good weekend. Picked up a couple new toys.
Uh-oh. What'd you get?
Well, I got one of my neighbor's mobile radios. It's a QYT GT800 cheap Japanese POS, or Chinese POS, GMRS rig.
Hey,
He claims that he took a stray electrical pulse on his house or something and it scrambled the settings in the radio. But after I dove into it with the programming software, it looks more like he got drunk and fumble fingered the microphone.
Yeah, I believe you 100%, man, because when they get hit with static discharge, it doesn't do shit like that. It fries them.
Well, it was receiving, but it would not transmit. And I got into there, and dude, he only had a handful of stations programmed into it, and every one of them were blocked. I don't know how he wound up blocking every station, but yeah, he did.
Well, you know what, man? I'm glad you joined the live because we were actually talking about you this morning.
Oh, Lord, what the hell did I do?
No, you didn't do nothing, man. We just haven't seen you in a few days, and I told CJ, I was like, shit, dude, I hope I didn't say something that pissed him off because I really enjoy you on our lives. That's a lot of fun.
No, dude, honestly, Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays, I usually, those are my days off away from work, so I tend to go quiet. I don't even play on my radios on the base station that often on my days off. I go quiet, I get off the electronic shit, I hang out with my wife, go fish,
Copy that. Yep.
Have a life away from all the other stuff.
No, okay, that's cool. Totally cool. I get that. I just wanted to make sure everything was good. That's all. That's great, man.
Hey,
everything. Like I said, everything is fantastic. I got a hold of one of my buddies down here. He is the county communications guy for one of the neighboring counties I live in. He's got a stock room full of old Motorola radios. He's going to dig through, find me the best one possible for my GMRS purposes.
Nice.
There you go. Yeah, that picture there is right across the border wall, and that's you're looking at Mexico.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, when we take any heavy loads down through down south, missing Interstate 10, we take State Route 9, which leads you right up against the border wall all the way across. Hey, Ed, welcome in.
Yeah, every night around like 7, 8, 9, we hear the helicopter going back and forth. And we were in Mission, so they're going back and forth from El Paso to... Yep.
Yeah, they're
Fort
always
Bliss.
over there. Because we load blades out of Santa Teresa, so we're not that far at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
Fort
you go.
Bliss is right there in El Paso.
Yep. And then they got a blimp that's up too, and it stays up if the wind is fine. And supposedly that's got cameras that zoom in so many far, and they can see what you're wearing, see how many fingers you're holding up, everything.
That's not too smart. You could take a blimp out with a fucking blowgun.
Oh, exactly.
They've had it up for, years. They reposition it every once in a while. It's gone. Then 6 months later, boom, there it is. Right now it's over El Paso.
Yeah, they got to patch the holes.
Yep.
There's one in there's one in Mission too. They're pretty close to Mission anyway.
But with that said, at nighttime, you cannot hear blimp.
Oh no, it don't move. I mean, it's stationary.
It's tethered, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dead quiet. That's why. That's smart.
Yeah, it's probably a good 500-600 feet up.
Yeah, I would say it's about... I'm curious
So
if you have any information on it. I doubt it.
Hey, Scott, welcome in.
Yeah, I don't know. You might be able to find something, but I can tell you this. So 25 years ago, the FLIR radar that we had, forward-looking infrared radar, you could see, 15, 20 feet in the ground. So if someone dug a tunnel or something like that, you could see it. And with today's technology, I'm sure it's way better.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if it is way better, they're not utilizing it at its peak performance because they ain't finding them tunnels very good.
Oh, man, you have to get permission for that, right? Uh-huh. Just like all those underground tunnels under Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, if the guys that are getting paid don't want you to know about it, they don't want to lose their paycheck.
Hey, I got to drop off here and get on the two-way communicator. I'll be back in a bit.
Yeah, go right ahead, man. Thanks for joining. Nice to hear from you.
This is funny. I look up blimp in El Paso.
There it is. Oh, shit.
That's what they need to put over the border wall, Trump looking down at them.
That would be perfect. With a big old set of those bull balls like you see on the back of a truck.
Yeah.
Hey, I see 705, welcome in.
I was like, all right.
One thing is, you put that up, it won't take long for it to be pew-pewed out of the air.
Right?
Oh, he's in a diaper. Hold on.
Oh shit.
Oh God. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I don't mind.
That's funny.
You know, I'll be honest with you. Last night it kind of blew my mind what Peter was saying about Trump down there in Australia.
Oh, I wasn't on, so I wouldn't. Give me the gist.
Well, they were talking shit about him, how no one likes him. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what the hell you've been reading or what they told you, but no, what we had before was bad. He's
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
fix this shit.
Right.
And the one before him, the first time he come,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I
he's
got
the one
tired
that
of listening
separated
to it.
everybody.
I agree with you 100%. That's exactly right. He's the one that started all this racism bullshit again. And did you guys hear that they just caught, or they found that Obama was he got $26 million from Obamacare.
Wow.
Or he gets $26 million a year or something like that. It was something stupid like that. But yeah, I knew it was all a
$26
scam.
million a year.
Yeah, from Obamacare. It's all bullshit. It's all money laundering.
Yep.
Midnight Blues liberals wouldn't like that. They would be crying for years.
Well, did you see where they where he was talking about they found a lady that's been on Social Security and she was 132 years old, and it showed Nancy Pelosi up underneath of it.
I saw that one today. That was funny. Oh, the one that I saw had her at 350 years old.
Well, yeah, that's it.
Yep, I saw that. I laughed on that one.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy how this country in the last 4 years, 5 years, whatever, changed so much. On my forearms, I got tattoos of a bald eagle, and it turns into an American flag. And I had a lady call me racist over that.
No.
Rough.
All right.
Yeah, it just blew my mind. All right,
Justin,
getting a
welcome
bunch
in.
of people in here. Hey, what's up?
What about one like that? Where's it at? Hold
Hold
on.
on.
I'm trying to find it. Well, I can't find my arm. You can't see it.
Can't find my arm.
Yo, what's up, guys?
What's up? Nice, dude.
I just pulled out the truck stop, man. Got on the road. Actually heading y'all's direction, but like I said, this is the first time I downloaded the app just to get on here. I've been seeing Jay. I've been seeing you post on Facebook about joining the lives, and I didn't know if you were doing them on all the platforms or what. But then I saw the link to it. I was like, you know what? I need to join it than that.
Oh man, that's so cool of you. Thanks, man. That's really neat.
I hate that I'm missing y'all, man. I know I'd sent you that message earlier in the week. It looks like it's going to be late Sunday night before I get through there, and I know y'all closed
Yeah.
on the weekend. But man, that's it's not often I get out here, but anytime I do, I'm always going to stop by, or at least try to.
Absolutely, yeah. Stop in and just say hi. That'd be great.
What I'd asked you a question last week, or I'd seen a video that you were talking about putting a steel whip on a semi. Where would you mount that? Like I'm guessing back on the catwalk somewhere, but how would you mount
Yeah.
that?
Well, it depends on the truck, sir. So usually it works better if you have an extended frame. So what I do is either one of the holes in the catwalk or that cross member that holds your pogo. They usually have a hole to the side of it, and I just put a stud in it.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, I got the burp. Sorry about that. So I take a wire wheel and I clean the paint off the bottom of that hole, put a stud in it, and run a 102 whip right there. And dude, that is a talking SOB.
Yeah. I'm doing decent with the you and the guy that was working with you that day actually set the SWR on these, but
Nice.
the duals out the forehead. I'm in I don't know if you remember my trucks, the orange 579 is.
Oh yeah.
We had to set the had to clean up a little bit of the grounds and stuff, but yeah, I'm down at 1.2 right now, running. I guess they're considered duals as two antennas, but they're not really far enough apart, I don't think, to do what they're supposed to do. But the 4-inch
Yeah.
Fire Stick 2s I got from you, the
Yep.
tunable ones. But no, I heard on I was on coming out of Amarillo this morning, man, and there was 37 was all over the place. I was getting Pennsylvania, Maine, got some Canadas, got some North Carolinas and Floridas.
Yeah, I did too, man.
It was
Yeah.
happening this afternoon.
That's cool. So let me ask you this: with those Fire Sticks on there, how do you think of the performance? How's it working?
I love it. I really do. I got two. I don't remember the name of them. I want to say there's a truck stop up in. It's just east of Chicago. It's actually in Lake Station, Indiana. Bob's Chrome and CB Shop or something. Really nice guys, and I ended up
Yeah.
getting two tunable antennas up there. I think they are. It's not the 357 model. It's the other model. I can't think of the dang name of the company. The model is a 357, and what I got was something else. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But these that I got from you talk way better than those do, and they tune up a lot better also.
That's why they
I
talk
want to
better.
say.
So
I
here's the
want to
trick with the
say.
Fire Stick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jesse. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, I can't think of what's the company that makes the it's a newer company that makes the external speakers and the microphone. Driver Extreme. That's it. Driver Extreme.
Yeah.
That's the brand of the antennas that I got, but I can't remember the model of them. Like I said, they make a 357 and they make another model, which is what I bought. But these Fire Sticks that y'all tuned up, they tune up way easier than those Driver Extremes do.
Yeah. Here's the thing that I think people like about my shop is, let's say you come in the shop and you say, I want Predators. Okay. So we put Predators on there, put the meter on it. If it doesn't tune up, I'll take them back off. And we'll try other antennas. We got to find the antenna that the truck likes, right? Because you're tuning it to the ground plane of the truck. So antennas like those Driver Extremes, Vipers, Predators, Strikers, those are all quarter wave antennas. Now, Fire Sticks are a 5/8 wave. So what that means is the other antennas that are a quarter wave electronically, they're 9 feet long. Well, the Fire Sticks are 21 feet. So they throw out a different pattern. So they radiate in a different pattern. And because of that, they have a different reflection off the truck, and that's why they tune up better. But because of the different pattern, they actually get out pretty damn good.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been super impressed with them. I'm running this 955, and I think I'm getting 70, 80-ish watts or something. It hadn't been screwed around with a whole lot, but I mean it's doing good on AM, and then on sideband, like I said, I was getting great reports from that one in Pennsylvania. I sounded like I was right beside him. So I mean, I know I had good
Nice.
conditions and everything back in Amarillo, but
Sure.
it was good to hear. And he's apparently got one of those radios with the wave form on it, and he said that it was right on top of frequency. It wasn't drifting or anything, which I think a lot of those strikers
Hey,
are
welcome
kind of
back,
known for
Russell.
not drifting and stuff. But
So
it was
Strikers,
good to hear.
dude, Strikers make a great entry-level sideband radio and AM radio, period. And I'll tell you why. Every time you key that mic, that radio looks at the frequency and it automatically aligns itself. So every time you key the mic, that radio makes sure that itself is on frequency. So when you're talking sideband, that's really important.
I'd heard in the past, like the new, and I don't know if the V1 955 is included in this, but I'd heard that when they switched to like a digital board instead of a crystal-based board or something like the 497s or something, that it helped with the stability a lot. And I don't know the difference in those two different types of technology.
No, they haven't used crystals in 40 years, man.
Oh, okay.
They use they use
Hey,
what's
Rick,
called a
what's the one?
PLL chip, phase lock loop. That's what it stands
Okay.
for. And the way a PLL chip works is, excuse me, when you change channels, all it does is change the resistance going into the chip, and when it does that, it changes the frequency.
Hmm.
So what's nice about it is the old radios. If you had a 40-channel radio, it had 40 crystals in it, one for
I
each
understand.
channel. Yeah, and it got rid of that big old brick, and now it's just this little bitty PLL chip, and now they work great, man.
Yeah, I've been super happy with it. You know, I bought that 33 or 66 B3 from you, and I felt like I wanted to get on sideband and just have a little bit more options and stuff. So I got this 955, and I've been happy with it. It's done good for me, so can't
Now,
complain
if
too much.
no, that's a great sideband radio, and now if you want to do a step up from that 94 Big Rig Galaxy, that's what I run in my truck, and I get them to swing just under 300 watts. And you
Yeah,
talk on that on
that's the
sideband?
one that
Woo!
that's the one that has the side mic input. Like I said, it won't fit up there in the cubby
No, it won't.
hole.
But you can put a hanger underneath it and hang it underneath, and that's better anyway. It lets it breathe a little bit. But
Yeah,
I
I've
know
been looking
exactly
at
what you're
doing
talking
that.
about. Yeah.
Since I leased this truck, I don't want to drill too many holes and stuff. You know, I have to turn
Oh
it
yeah.
back in, and it's. I've been looking for an alternate spot to put this radio, but I just really can't find anything that's worth a darn.
Sure. And you don't want to put them on the dash because the sun will beat them to death.
Yeah, yeah. And I know it's probably not a good thing, but the cubby hole that's up there actually gets some external airflow. I can feel a little bit of air coming through. So
Nice.
I put my hand up there in front of the radio, and
Hey,
you
Uncle
feel air
Freddie, welcome in.
coming behind it. So I guess in a
Oh, that,
roundabout way, that's a good thing.
absolutely. That's a great thing. Yeah. Now the other option is the Ranger X9 HP. That's a 250 watt radio, and that's got upper and lower sideband. And that
And
radio has
how do those talk on sideband? Good.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Ranger's the best. Yeah, I love Ranger. That's why I look at my base station radio there. That's a Ranger. I love Ranger. Now, here's something that a lot of people don't know. Galaxy and Connex have been made by Ranger for 50 years. They got Ranger boards in them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
One of the engineers for Ranger, when he decided to split off and go his own way, is the engineer for Stryker. Hint, hint.
Justin Tolson says a 959 Galaxy. Hey,
Dude,
welcome in, Cornbread.
I've had a 959 in my Jeep for 16 years. 102 whip at a modified DX 500. Does 880 watts. Great radio.
Bart, are we really going to do this?
Let's do it.
Bart knows exactly what I'm talking about.
You guys are you guys are standing in the street right now, tickling the ivory handles of your 6-shooter. Who's gonna draw first?
Hey, Midnight, welcome in.
Now, how do you guys feel about on my semi, I'm running my antenna on the back of the cab versus on the mirrors?
Well, what kind of antenna is it? Let's start
The
there.
Striker A10.
Okay. And what kind of trailers do you pull?
Dry van or hopper bottom.
Okay, well, hopper bottoms ain't too bad 'cause they're kind of low, right?
Yeah.
And do you have a stretched frame on your truck?
I mean, I have a little bit of a stretch, nothing crazy. It used to have a 63-inch bunk on it, and we took it off and turned it into a day cab, so it's a little bit of a stretch, but nothing too crazy.
He's got about 9 foot between the cab and the trailer.
Right? Yeah. And because of that, I think it'll work just fine.
Gotcha. Yeah, I had a lot of problems getting a good ground out of my mirrors, so I moved it back there and instantly got good ground.
Yep. And now you got to remember something. When we talk about a ground on an antenna, it's not a DC voltage ground. The antenna doesn't care about that. It's looking for an RF ground. So the antenna's looking for something to reflect off of. That's what an RF ground is. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, that's good. So yeah, so with that said, never run a ground wire to your antenna because A, it's not looking for a DC voltage ground. B, the antenna will reflect off that wire, and that wire will act like another antenna. And it'll give you all sorts of weird readings or even false readings, but the performance won't be there.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So you did the right thing. If your antennas aren't tuning up because you got a bad RF ground, you got to move them to a different location to get a better reflection. And you did the right thing.
Gotcha. Yeah. I talked to a guy that supposedly was in big CBs and adamant on running a ground wire to the frame, trying to ground it out.
Never.
That don't make
Never.
no sense.
Nope. You're right. Nope. He's been in radio that long. That doesn't make sense. He should know better. But anyway, since we're talking about your truck and you got all that room, if you really want to make that thing talk, now you can put a 102 whip on the catwalk.
Gotcha. Yeah. About how high would that sit roughly? Does anybody know?
Well, the 102 whip with the spring is 108 inches, is 9 feet.
9
So
feet.
if you mount it on the catwalk behind the sleeper, about 2 feet or so behind the sleeper, or behind your cab, it should be just fine. All the big bull haulers that come in my shop that want those big radios, that's what we do.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All the guys that come in the shop and they say, I want a big radio. They don't understand it's the antenna. So the first thing I do is look for a place to mount a 102. And if we can put that there, he's going to have a big radio, even if he's got a little 25-watt radio.
Gotcha. So what makes like a 102 whip so good compared to others?
Okay, so let's take your striker antenna, for example. It's got roughly a 4-foot whip on it, right?
Yeah, roughly.
Okay, so no matter how much power you put to that antenna, you only got a 4-foot radiation pattern, and that's it.
Gotcha.
So when you put a 102 on it, now you got a 9-foot radiation pattern, more than double.
Huh.
And that's why base stations talk so well. It's not that they necessarily have a stronger radio than you do. They probably don't. But they got an antenna. If it's a 5/8 wave base antenna, that whip is 21 feet long.
Huh.
So
Interesting.
they got a 21-foot radiation pattern. So if you look at antennas in the military, they don't run quarter wave or half wave or 5/8 wave. They run a full wave, and that's why they're so long. But when you run a full wave antenna, that's why they get out so good.
Gotcha.
So, for example,
that's kind of how we're competing with the loudness or the power of a base station. We're competing by beefing up our radio instead of beefing up our antennas.
that's right. So you'll get way better performance out of a 102 whip. And now the nice thing about 102s is they love power. So if you run a high-powered radio or put an amplifier on it with a 102, oh yeah, you'll see the difference. So getting back to the aircraft carriers, if you notice on an aircraft carrier, if you pull up a picture, you'll see vertical and horizontal antennas. And the horizontal ones that hang off the side of the boat, they do that for a reason. It reflects off the water.
Really? So then does it just use the water to bounce it up in the atmosphere, or how's that work?
That's exactly right. And they get a further range that way.
Huh. Interesting. I've never heard that before.
Yep, that's the only reason why they do it.
There, Art.
No problem.
Yep. So anyway, it's all about the antenna, guys. That's where all the magic happens.
So,
That's where I can talk so far. My base antenna is like 65 feet away from the water.
There you go. That helps a lot. Sure. I used to take my Jeep when we go camping, and I'd pull the front tires right into the lake, just to where they got wet. And man, I'd shoot, skip all over the place. Yeah, water it makes a great antenna. So Ivan used to teach us spec warfare guys in the Navy, if you take coax and strip the outer about 6 feet off of it, strip the inner about 2 feet, and tie a little weight or something to it, a rock or with a piece of paracord or string or whatever, and you throw that sumbitch out in the river, that whole river just became your antenna. Flat SWR 1.0.
Now on the Striker 497, you got your power knob there by your talkback knob. What would you recommend running that at? Because I know some guys max it out, some guys say leave it at half. What would you recommend?
Always run it as low as possible. Turn it all the way down. If that radio is tuned correctly, with the power all the way down, it should swing to 80 watts.
Gotcha. Yeah, I got it from that
Hey, Tony, welcome in.
Bob's Chrome Shop that Jesse was talking about.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with that guy. I haven't had too many of his radios on my bench, but if that radio is tuned right, full power should swing to 150.
Gotcha.
And the reason why I say run your power all the way down is because of this. In the radio world, if you're within a mile of somebody, that's considered close. So the closer you get, and the harder you're driving the other guy's radio that's listening to you, it's going to be hard for him to understand you because you're going to overdrive his receiver.
Okay, yeah,
Because-
that might be the problem I'm having then, because when I run with my buddies a lot, sometimes they can't hear me, and then, but then other times they can hear me great if they're a little bit further away. So yeah, that might be the problem I'm having because I'm running at about quarter power.
Yep. And the other issue is, where do you run your mic gain?
It's about half, maybe. I think I don't
Hey, Eddie, welcome in.
maxed out.
Yeah, I used to run mic gain on a striker about 1 o'clock. That's fine. Half to 1 o'clock, you're fine.
Gotcha.
And run a Ranger mic. They sound excellent with a Ranger mic.
I got 5 of them Ranger mics.
Yeah, I love them. I run Ranger mics on all my radios. But anyway, another mistake that people make is they turn the RF gain all the way up, and then they squelch out the noise. Well, that's just like holding the brake and giving it gas. It defeats the purpose. So turn your squelch all the way to the left, turn it off, make sure your NB switch is on noise blanketer, and now turn your RF gain down and just until that static stops. That's how you're supposed to run a radio. And that's an adjustment you're going to have to make daily.
Gotcha.
Always try to keep your RF gain turned up as high as possible until you hear that noise, and then just back it off until it stops. And if you do it that way with the squelch off, you'll actually hear people further away. But your buddy that you're talking to, if he has his RF gain turned all the way up, yeah, you're hitting his receiver so damn hard he can't understand you.
Gotcha. And then with like using your RF gain instead of your squelch,
Hey, Mike, welcome in.
how would that work with like going in town under power lines and all that? Would you still just adjust it like you would with the squelch to drown that out?
Well, sometimes you can't with power lines because the isolators in the power lines might be bad or cracked or old. And no matter what you do, like when you drive under it, you're going to hear the whoosh, and then it'll go away once you pass it. Yeah.
Hey, Justin just said it's like detuning when you're pushing a box cleaner.
Kind of, yeah. You don't want to overdrive it, right?
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely have to do it that way tomorrow because
He
I've
doesn't-
just been told, max your RF out and use the
Never.
squelch to quiet it down.
Yeah. So the RF gain controls the sensitivity of the receiver. Think of the squelch like a wall. The more you turn it up, the higher the wall. So when you turn that all the way up, it takes roughly 12 to 15 watts of power to break the squelch. So if you got a guy with a 10, 12 watt Cobra and he's a mile away, you'll never hear him.
Gotcha, yeah, because I have buddy hauls feed. He's a company driver, and I know he has his CB. It's not that great, but it seems like I can never hear him no matter how close or how far we are, so that might be my issue.
Yep. So turn off your squelch, adjust it with the RF gain, and you should be able to hear him. Now, the cool thing about that is, let's say there's a guy 15, 20 miles ahead of you or whatever, away from you, and you're having trouble hearing him. So turn the RF gain up. And now once you're done listening to them or done talking to them, you can turn it back down. But make sure you tell your buddies that you're driving with to do the same thing, because you have a really powerful radio. And if you guys are following each other down the road, you're going to hit them hard. Saturday night, CJ was following me home. We left the restaurant, and he's running the 497. And I asked him, I said, dude, you got your power turned down? Yeah, it's all the way down. But he was hitting me so hard. I had my RF gain all the way down. Couldn't go down any further. And he was still overdriving my receiver. So, yeah. So just tell your buddies to do the same thing. Turn off their squelch. Turn down the RF gain till the static stops. And then when you talk to them, say, hey, do I sound better now? And I guarantee they're going to say, yeah.
Gotcha. And then is it true on the 497s, when I bought mine, the guy told me, like the first version of them, he wouldn't recommend them to like many people that weren't very knowledgeable about CBs because they didn't have like an SWR protect, and then the second version did. Is that true, or have they always had that? Or
Well, it's true. The new one has the SWR that shows up on the channel selector. So if you're on 19 and you key the mic, it might say 1.2, 1.3. It's showing you the SWR. But with that said, I kind of, in a way, I don't agree with what he said, because if he's a good radio man or a good radio shop, he should make sure your antennas are perfect before he even sells you the radio. And
It
I
may
do
be hard
that
to see on my photo. I don't know if you can put me on the big screen, but you'll barely see my my meter on my radio on my dash.
okay,
Yeah, but so when customers come in and they say, I want a 497 or I want a Ranger X9 or an N4, N2, so a big radio, I always say, well, let's see if we can get the antennas to tune up first. And if we can't, I'm not going to sell you one. And their eyes get real big and they go, what? I said, well, yeah, you're just going to blow it up. Then you're going to blame me. So no, I'm not going to sell you the radio unless we get those antennas fixed. And sure, once we get the antennas fixed, then you can run pretty much whatever radio you want. But that's step number one.
gotcha.
I don't like nothing over a 1.5. And the closer to 1-to-1 you get, the better and further she's going to talk and hear.
Yeah, the other day I ripped the whip off of my striker antenna. It snapped it, and I didn't even realize it. And then I seen it on the display there, a 3.2 SWR. So when I got back, I looked at it and I was like, "Oh, that's why." And put a new whip in it and all that, and it was right back down to 1.1, 1.2.
Nice. Perfect. Yeah. So, I mean, it is a good safety feature as far as the driver goes. And you just said the perfect story right there. Because now you know, okay, shit, I'm at a 3.2. I better not key up no more.
Yeah.
You know, you can listen all you want. You can receive off a coat hanger, literally. But you can't talk off that coat hanger unless it's tuned up. I've talked off a barbed wire fence.
Really?
Yeah. I just kept trimming it was an old fence that was in a field that was like half there, half ain't. I just kept trimming the barbed wire with a pair of dikes until it tuned up.
Huh. Pretty wild.
Now it's called a dipole antenna. Talk like a son of a bitch.
I was going to say he made a redneck version of a dipole.
Yep, that's right.
Pretty much.
Yeah, my
Even
bass
had
right
the
now, since I don't have my
I even had the chewing tobacco in my mouth.
There you go. Wow, we're up to 14,300 likes.
Man, that's awesome. Guys, I want to thank everybody that supports this channel. I have so much fun doing these lives, and I love interacting with everybody. And I think most of all, I like helping people because, for example, I think it was Wednesday night, there was a guy on here, and I helped him. I gave him some advice. He called me at the shop on Friday, and he's like, Jay, I can't thank you enough. My radio's never worked this good, and I never even touched it. He's in another state. I just told him what to do. So that's pretty cool. I really enjoy helping people, man. It keeps the radio world going, makes people smile, And I think most of all, out of my shop, they get customer service and they know they're not getting ripped off, and that's my main concern.
Now, with the like you were saying, it could burn your radio up. How would you really know, like, if your radio is burned up versus if it isn't?
It won't transmit.
Gotcha.
So check this out.
But
at a 1.5 SWR, you're losing about 30%, roughly, give or take, whatever, of your transmission power. So where's that other 30% going? No one thinks about that. That power's got to go somewhere.
Hey, J-Dog, welcome in.
So it finds the easiest path of resistance, which is back through the coax. When you go backwards into a radio, the first thing it hits is the final transistors. That's why they're called finals. So the finals are trying to push power out, but it's getting resistance because power is coming back into it, and they're not made for that, and they blow up.
Hey, J-Dog, how you doing? We're doing great.
Gotcha.
What's up?
What's up?
So what 1-to-1 SWR means, 1-to-1, it means the radio's putting out one part power and the antenna's getting rid of it. So it's 1-to-1. It's equal.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what that means. Standing wave ratio. It's the ratio of power getting out as opposed to the power coming back in.
Now, a little off-topic question here. Do you think government...
No, I do not wear women's underwear. No, I'm just kidding.
Do you
He's
think
kidding.
the
He
government, any of them will ever regulate that CBs are mandatory in trucks? Because, I mean, I believe they should be. I think they could prevent thousands of accidents and piles up.
For 50 years, they prevented that shit, right? And this new wave of truck drivers, this new generation coming out, they think they can get away with their cell phone and Google Maps. And what they don't realize is Google Maps doesn't update as fast as you can talk on a CB.
Exactly.
And, you know, here's another one. What's going to happen? Let's say our cellular infrastructure goes down. Everyone that relies on the cell phones is going to be screwed because they don't have the CBs.
Well, here's a better one.
They mandate you to put one in a truck, but they can't make you turn it on. That's the problem.
Correct. So, for all the truck drivers out there that are on the live now, how many times have you been driving in the middle of nowhere and you lost cell service?
quite a few times.
Yeah.
There you go.
Then
CB always works.
Yep.
Kind of like CJ said, it was, I want to say last summer, last fall here in Indiana, like NTT, Verizon, there's a whole bunch of them had like big outage for like, I want to say 8 to 12 hours. And
Yeah,
Oh,
Jay,
wow.
that's when I was down in El Paso when that happened, and it even affected mine. And I'm on FirstNet, which is for first responders. That network even went down, and we're supposed to have the most reliable, all because someone
shit.
got a fiber optics cable.
yeah,
Hold on.
Okay, I got a quick question.
Sure, what's that?
So Justin here says he hates CB radios. You can't tax airwaves. Is that what you want to do, Justin? Make money off the airwaves? I've always been that way. Just like your satellite TV, you know, that's coming through the airwaves. You're paying
Right.
for it.
Well, it's not that they can't tax it so much. They don't have control of it.
Exactly.
but back to what DJ was saying though, like during that outage, it was just the roads was chaos. There was so many truck drivers and cars and just everybody. I'd be at the truck stop getting fuel. Hey, how do you get here? How do you get here? And just absolutely no clue on how to function without their phone.
Yeah, and I carry maps in my car because I'm a pilot car. So if my phone goes down and my GPS doesn't work, I need to know how to read a map to find out where I'm going. And not even most people don't even know how to read maps anymore.
Yeah, that is no kidding.
But Justin, before long, the government will figure out how to tax it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hey, Barry, welcome in.
Well, I'll give you a great example, and this is the problem with the newer generation. I had a Boy Scout leader wanted me to teach his kids how how to look, to land navigate, use a map, compass, shit like that. So we were at a Bighorn Gun Club out here in Edgewood. We walked 1 mile into the woods. Stopped, turn around, and I made sure when we were walking, I was zigzagging back and forth, try to confuse them a little bit. And before we left, I said, all right, we're walking in that direction. Look at your compass. Take a reading. What does the number say?
Hey, MJ,
Because
welcome in.
direct opposite is the number we're going to need to get back.
Mm-hmm.
So they did that. About halfway through, I'm paying attention. All the kids are playing on their phones. I didn't say a word. We get to the rendezvous point. I said, all right, guys, now we need to get back. And guess what? All your phone's batteries just died. Here, put them in this bag. And they went, oh. Yeah, you weren't reading your map or your compass, were you? Did you remember that number? And one kid did. And he actually, this kid, every time I zigged and zagged, that little son of a gun had a notepad and he made a map. I couldn't believe it. I was so proud of
You're
him.
right.
He wanted
J
to
Dog,
get back to
you're,
his
you're right
biscuits
on that
and
too.
gravy.
What's that?
I said he wanted to get back to his biscuits and gravy.
That's right.
Get back.
I was really impressed, man. What a smart kid. And I said, you know what? Now you can lead us back home. And I kept my mouth shut. And that kid did a good job, but it taught those kids a lesson. I said, when we got back, I said, now what would have happened if your batteries died or you tripped and you hit your phone and you broke it or whatever? But either way, you didn't have that damn phone to rely on. That compass and that map will never fail. Ever.
Hey, Jay, read Kelso's comment. It goes, here we go again. 1.5 to 1 SWR results in 96% effective radiated power. Google's SWR versus ERP chart.
Yeah, well, but that's good for Google. Once again, like I told you on the last time you brought that up, there's so many more variables than just SWR.
Yes.
Now, when you peek and tune in CB and stuff, and you have it like out of the truck or whatever on the bench, I had one done at a CB shop that's closed up now. The guy hooked it up to, I couldn't tell you what machine, and just kind of showed me that it was doing so many watts and charged me for peeking and tuning it. Obviously, I mean, shouldn't you have to do something inside? I'm not too knowledgeable on that side of stuff.
Absolutely. You got to get inside the radio to peek and tune it and make sure the frequency is aligned. Sure.
Gotcha.
Kelso goes baloney.
He was one of those, like you were talking about earlier, though, YouTube technician, it seemed like to me, because, like, when I was up there at the little shop he used to have, I had a 29 LTD Cobra, an older one, and I was asking him about Striker, and he said he loved them, and then I'd talked to him a couple months later, and he said he absolutely hated Striker and all that because they wouldn't give him manuals or something to work on their radios.
He's full of shit. I could call Stryker right now and ask them to send me a schematic, and they would email me one in 2 minutes. And as a matter of fact, when you buy the 497 in the instructions, it comes with a schematic.
Yep, mine came with the whole schematic and all that too.
The 447 does too.
Yep. Now, Stryker has great customer service.
Now, are they still made in the USA or?
For the most part, yeah. A lot of the stuff's made in Vietnam. A lot of the radio parts are now, which is better than China, that's for sure.
When did Cobra move to being built in China and all that?
Oh, 25, 30 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, just to circle back real quick, I don't think enough can be said about the way Jay's talking about running that squelch and that RF gain. I do that every day, and it's absolutely by far superior to squelching everybody out and hoping you hear them.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
I'm
works really
definitely
good, don't it?
Yeah, it
yeah.
does. It really does.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to change that around in the morning when I get in the truck.
Yeah,
Yeah, until you're.
you mentioned about going under power lines and stuff. Yeah, I mean, when you go into towns and stuff, it'll hiss up a little bit, but you can just turn it down as soon as you get through town, open it back up, and I swear by doing that after he told me that, shoot, what, 3, 4
Yeah.
years ago.
I
Hey
do
Jay,
Yeah,
that.
that works really well. I'm
Jay,
sorry, what was that?
Barry's got a Connex ZXY. He'll bring it in a couple of weeks.
Connex ZXY. Interesting. But yeah, that's fine. Bring it in.
All right, so I'm back. I had to do a little two-way radio communicating. I got an opportunity. Galaxy 95 T2 Big Rig Series. We're
Great
negotiating
radio.
price.
What are they asking for it?
He's asking 350. I'm trying to get him down 275.
Yeah, 300's fair. Yeah, actually 350 is probably fair for that radio. That radio and the 94 Big Rig, with the tune-up, I sell for, depending on the radio, between 550 and $600 new. So
Yeah,
about half
I know
that.
the radio. I know where it came
That's a
from.
good
I know
price.
how it's set up. It's a
Yeah.
great radio, but I don't want to give him what he paid for it since he's been running it for like 4 years now.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from. You don't know what kind of antenna it's hooked to. Are the finals weak? Are the pills weak in the amp because of it? But that's a good radio. If you can get it for 275, 300, I think that's fair. What do you think?
I do. I got one.
I think that's fair.
I mean, I had the 95 T2 back in the day, and I loved it, and I let it go, and I've been looking for one ever since. And a buddy of mine down in Miami's got one, and he's finally agreeable to letting it go. We're just negotiating price.
Yeah, that's a good radio. And I run the 94 Big Rig in my truck, and I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad had the 94 in his Cadillac, believe it or not, before he passed away, and
Nice.
the old man was fucking crazy.
So Barry
Sounds
says
like
it's a
me and the old man would.
3300.
Yeah, 3300 ass, no problem. Sounds like me and the old man would get along just fine.
Dude, he was running that Galaxy 94, and he was running on I think it was either 5 or 6 foot fire stick through the trunk lid, not on a mount. He actually drilled a hole through the front trunk lid to mount the damn thing.
Nice.
Yeah, he was dead set to get good SWRs. He wanted to hear how loud that radio would go.
That's dedication.
Hey Barry, you're welcome.
Yeah, Bart, there was some cars that came with radios. As a matter of fact, some of the old Chryslers, the old Mopars, they had a stereo CB combination.
Yeah, Cadillac used to do that too.
I was gonna say when you said
Yep.
Cadillac, I thought some of the Cadillacs had it.
Yeah, they I think Cadillac got away from doing that in like 88 or 89. They stopped doing it.
Wow, they did it for that long?
Yes.
Yeah, because the last Cadillac my dad had before we left Texas was I want to say it was a 86 Fleetwood Bronham, one of the big boat cars, and it still had the factory CB radio in it.
That's cool. I didn't know they made them that long. Wow.
Yeah, and the damn thing still worked. It was crazy. Sounded
I
good
believe
too.
it.
Wasn't bad little radio.
Yeah, I bet. Them older radios had better quality, man. And even better quality as far as manufacturing goes. So when I stopped carrying Cobras in the shop, I ordered 4 of them one day. They came in. I took one out of the box to peek and tune it, and out of the box, it was 23 kilohertz off of frequency. I said, really? That was it. I just went to the unit in PC78, and it's a better radio, more power.
Oh, you remember me telling you about that Anytone Smart CB?
Yeah.
I got bored and started tinkering with it. I was able to squeeze a whole whopping 8 watts out of it.
Well, I guess that's not bad for what it is.
Yeah, there's no swing. It's just it's a steady, constant 8 watts, but I got 8 watts out of the damn thing.
That's cool.
Now we're talking with power.
Oh yeah,
That's
big
right.
power. Look out, mouth of the
Say
south
hello.
over here.
That's right. Say hello to Dr. Watts. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Talladega Nights.
But no, I'm hoping I can get him to come
Hey,
down
Mike,
on his
welcome.
price. I really want that 95T too. That is a monster of a radio.
Yeah, I got one of those. I switched from the 95 to the 94, and I got my 95 up on a shelf, but they're a good radio. I love them.
The only thing I don't like about the 95 is if you want to adjust the echo tone, you got to open the damn case.
Yes, and that's one thing I like about the 94.
Yeah, it's on the faceplate instead of inside the case. At 95, every time I wanted to adjust my echo, I'd have to take the radio down out of the mount, pop the case open, adjust it to where I want it, put it all back together, rehang the radio. Absolute pain in the ass.
Yep, you are right.
Old school's iPad died. He's trying to get back in with his phone. I'm just waiting to see
Yeah,
him.
no problem. Hey, what did Barry say there?
I'm getting a new truck and I'll need my antennas put on too. I'm trying to get all of my stuff done.
Yeah, no problem, man. If you need help, just swing by. We'll help you out.
To circle back to the antennas,
Yeah.
you were talking about how Wilson is junk. I had a buddy that got, I want to say it was a T5000 or something like that, and I was surprised because he was asking me about how to tune it and stuff because I had him get a little SWR meter and I was just trying to walk him through it on
Sure.
the phone. I was surprised he sent me a picture. They don't have like an actual whip anymore. The one I had back in the day had a normal whip. Now they're just like a 2 or 3 inch whip
Back there,
that
Barry,
slides
73s.
up and down.
Huh. That's weird. Yeah, the
Barry
Wilsons,
says,
man.
Again, and good night.
All
You're
right, my
talking
friend.
about on
You
the
have a good
Wilson
night.
5000, you're talking about that little 3-inch stub of metal that comes out of the top of it?
Yeah, it was pitiful.
Yeah, that's not the actual whip. That's just for shipping purposes. They sell the whips separately.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Huh.
Oh, he's talking about the plug.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the shipping plug.
So, yeah, they put the plug in
Yeah,
it
that's
so the
just
set screws
placeholder.
don't come out.
Gotcha, yeah. See, his didn't come with the whip, so I was like, oh no, I guess that's the whip. I was like, it's about
Oh,
pitiful.
no. Oh, no,
Nope. That's just there to keep the set screws in place while it's being shipped. Tell
Oh,
them to
right,
go
so
buy
they
a
don't-
whip for it. Start tuning.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now you gotta buy a whip. They don't even come with them. Cheap bastards.
No,
Yeah.
they come with them.
Made in China.
That's why Wilson is
Made in
garbage.
They come with
China.
them. They come with them at the truck stops. You can get them with the whip, and you get them with either the 3-inch or the 6-inch riser, or just the 3 or just the 6. And they do sell the whip separate for about $26.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if you want better
Yeah,
performance, just don't get a Wilson.
At all.
Yeah.
Oops. Did I
Hey,
say
Mike,
that
welcome, man.
The last Wilson I bought a Wilson 1000 magnet mount. And right out of the package, you could just feel how cheap they had got. I put it on the truck, got everything dialed in, got the SWR set. A week later, I don't know if the load in the antenna went bad or what, but SWRs went through the roof,
Hey,
and I
look,
never
it's
could get it to
welcome.
tune again.
Yep. The solder joint's breaking that coil.
That's kind of what I was figuring it was. The load went south.
Yep, you're right.
When I first got into it, I bought a Little Will. Oh my god. Thing one
Dude,
I don't know if
I still got a little Will sitting in my garage that I've had now for probably 20 years, and the damn thing still works.
That's because it was built then.
That's right. You have the older one. Those were good. Yeah.
couldn't get it.
Jay, I heard that guy talking to you last week. I guess it was. I saw it in one of the clips. He was talking about putting his antenna on the headache rack, and you were telling him like you can't really do that because there's probably a bed liner in between and all that stuff. Did you ever talk any more to that guy about relocating that antenna?
Yeah, I just told him he'd be better off with a mag mount on his roof, like a striker mag mount. But yeah, most headache racks don't tune up. Every now and then you can get one to tune, but for the most part, they won't tune up. You got a plastic bed liner that the headache rack is bolted to, and if you got a big truck, and you got that toolbox on the back of the headache rack. If you look between the headache rack and the frame, they got that rubber isolator on there, right? And
Yeah.
they never tune up. And most of those headache racks are aluminum on the big trucks, and it's just not a good conductor.
Well, either they're aluminum or they're painted. And I mean, if you're painted, you're doing the same thing. You're isolating
Yeah.
it from the truck. So
Absolutely. I had
speaking
a
of paint,
78 one-ton Dodge, a long bed pickup, and a buddy had this really cool headache rack that he custom built for his truck. Well, he wrecked his truck and gave me the headache rack. And it was cool. It had 4 bars, one right behind the window, one angled out even further. Then the last bar went all the way to the tailgate. It was a cool headache rack.
oh, wow.
Well, no matter what I did, I couldn't get my antenna to tune on it. So I took the rack back off, wire wheeled the bottom of the headache rack, and I actually wire wheeled the bed where the headache rack bolted to. When I did that, it tuned right up.
Yeah.
On topic of that, you'll see a lot of these like company trucks and stuff that, especially like day cab local deliveries, they just use them like pretty much mirror bracket mounts that just clamp around a tube, and they just put them on a grab handle on the back of the cab. How would those ever tune up?
So most of the time, that's what we do. When we can't get antennas to tune up on a mirror, we'll take a mirror mount, put on that back grab handle bar, and usually that works pretty good. Yeah.
hey,
Really?
Jay, remember, real quick, sorry to interrupt. Remember when I was telling you about that guy that was painting that antenna green?
Oh yeah.
Let me get out of the way. You may have to open it, but yeah, his entire antenna, including the whip, is green.
Yeah. I wonder how it tuned up.
Don't know. But yeah, I saw that today, and it's like, wow.
Well, like I said, it depends on the antenna, because like military antennas, we camouflaged them. They're all painted up.
Yeah.
But it's a different style antenna too. And also, remember, the military uses full wave antennas. That's why they're so damn long. But why do they do that? Because you get the best range out of them.
Hey, Denise, welcome in. We're up to 15,000 likes there.
Man, that's awesome.
Only 15,000 more to go.
I know, I love my damn noise toys.
So how long have you been into like doing CB and all that?
I started working on them when I was 14, 1986.
Somebody clicking like hell on their pad.
Probably Bart.
I was spamming the
I can hear it
lights.
on this side.
We're going to call him Thumper.
That's my fault. I was spamming the likes.
Thanks, man.
So did you learn from your dad, or who taught you?
No, so my dad was a mechanic for 50
Hey, Chris,
years.
welcome in.
And this old guy, George, used to come out to the shop and hang out with my dad and drink coffee. George had an old Chevy pickup with a CB in it. So when he'd come to the shop, he'd let me go out there and talk to the truckers. Well, he was surprised that I enjoyed it so much. He gave me an old 23 channel and a tram mag mount. And the first night, I blew it up. My parents have a flat roofed house, and the top of the roof is lined in bricks, and I just threw the antenna on top of the bricks. I didn't know any better, and I blew the finals out of the radio. So I took it back to him, and he looked at it, and the first question out of his mouth, "How did you have the antenna hooked up?" And I told him. So, yep, he gave me $2. One book was about an inch thick, and that was a radio repair manual, and the other book was 475 pages, and that was an antenna book. And he said, "Jay, this is the book you need to memorize. This is where all the magic happens." That's where I got that phrase from, was George. And he goes, "Well, you're here. Do you want to learn how to fix this thing?" And I said, "Absolutely." So that's how I got my start. I used to go down there every weekend, sit in his basement with him and work on radios. And come to find out, old George was one of General Patton's radio men in World War II. And so that's the guy that I learned from. And,
Really?
Yeah, I never thought in a million years that that old man was setting me up for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm damn lucky. Very blessed.
Yeah, it's definitely a very tedious hobby and profession to learn.
Well,
Dude, I'll
it
tell you what,
depends.
one of the first CBs I ever played with, and this is probably going to clue y'all into how old school I get. Johnson Messenger 4320.
Oh, you old. You in your 50s.
Right?
I'm
I've got
actually
a.
45, okay, but I had old toys.
I'm 51.
I'm not saying nothing.
Well, I got a Johnson. I got a Johnson Messenger 225 on the shelf in my shop,
It's 10:30 right now.
Good Lord.
and it still works. I paid $5 for it at a garage sale.
Yeah, mine
Yeah.
was my dad's when he quit truck driving. He pulled it out of the truck and gave it to me to play with.
That's awesome.
I
So we
think
got.
the oldest radio I have is a Sears Road Talker.
Yep.
2 whole watts.
Well, so Sears Road Talker was made by two different companies. One was Realistic, and one was Uniden. And the one with the Uniden board in it would do 20 watts.
Well, I ain't messed with it. We seen it one day and I bought it. And I just plugged it in and it
That's cool.
worked.
That's cool. Yeah. So, guys, we have Chris Customs there that joined the live. And
Hi, guys.
Hey.
What's up,
Hey,
Chris?
so Chris is the paint body man for Rush Peterbilt in Albuquerque. And he's the one that I've been telling all you guys about when we're going to do these custom amps, get them painted up and laser engraved. He's the one that does all that stuff.
Nice.
And I've known Chris since the first grade, and I'm telling you right now, he is the best paint body guy I've ever seen in my life. I've been around drag cars my whole life, and I've seen some pretty nice paint jobs. And same with the lowriders out here. I mean, I'm not into lowriders, but some of those paint jobs, wow. I mean, the time that these guys put into these paint jobs is amazing.
Oh yeah.
And
So, Lopez truck he came in. His first radio was a Cherokee Knight Rider 150.
nice.
Wow,
And,
I think he might have us beat.
A what?
A Cherokee Knight Rider 150.
Knight
I
Rider.
think I got a realistic Apache. I think it is 23 channel base station.
That's cool. Yeah,
And
I got a
he's looking
local
for
guy out
another
here
one.
that's got an old Navajo. That's cool.
That's the other one I got.
Yeah, those are neat, man. So, Mr. Chris Customs, what are you up to tonight, my friend?
Well, you mentioned the laser, and that's actually what I'm doing. I'm running the laser right now.
Nice. What are you making?
The Eiffel Tower.
Really?
Yeah, making the Eiffel Tower. It cuts it all out, and then you just piece it together and stack it together, and there you go.
That is so cool.
But I had no idea it was gonna. I thought you can do previews of these things to see how long it's gonna take.
Yeah.
And it said 33 minutes, and I said, "Well, I can do that." And then
Per
I had to
section.
resize it. And clicked on the time limit again. Now it says 2 hours and 33 minutes. I'm like, "Oh shit!" I don't know. If
Yeah.
I might just turn it off and try again tomorrow.
Right? Wow. Yeah, like you said up there, he goes, yeah, per section, 33 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys, thanks for all the likes. We're up to 21,000.
Damn.
Oh, nice. Oh, shit. Are we going to break the record?
The record was 30,200.
I tried stopping them. My fingers just don't want to stop. So.
I'd spam it some more, but I can't. I don't have the mute option for my microphone, and I'm sure y'all don't want to hear all that tapping.
Oh,
I
it's okay,
I
Ted.
can mute your mic.
Pick on. You should be able to mute it if you click on your picture and it show your microphone and your camera.
Yeah.
I don't hear any tapping.
Let's see. Let's see what I can do here.
There it is.
Yep,
There you go.
Got it. Yep. All right. Sweet. All right. I'm gonna spam the hell out of it. Watch this.
Hell, I'm double tapping this screen.
Nice.
We can look at his head every time he taps the screen.
Yeah, you can tell because it shakes.
Yeah. Yeah. I have so much fun doing these lives. It's so cool.
Yeah, they're
Jay, do
pretty.
you like old radios?
Absolutely.
I actually have a blackface Johnson that still works.
Wow.
The
Nice.
microphone's hardwired,
Yep.
and it has the matching blackface Johnson tube amp.
Holy cow. Does that still work?
Yep.
It all works. No kidding.
Yep.
Does that have the tubes in it?
Yep.
Oh man. Yeah, that's
I don't
really
know.
cool. I love stuff like that.
I don't know if you guys can see this laser, but you want to try it?
Yeah, hold
It's
on.
actually.
Let me put you on a big screen.
I don't know if I can zoom in. I guess I can't.
It won't because of the flash on the laser printer. I got one.
Oh. It looks cool as hell up close, but yeah, it's just a bright light.
Yeah.
Wow.
That looks more like that looks more like 2 hours and 33 minutes than
Right?
Wow.
That's a lot. So yeah, I was, from here it looks really cool, but because you can actually see the beam through the smoke.
Yep.
Excuse me.
But oh well, I tried.
You go from the top. Is there a window on the top or no?
Yeah, but it just shows the you can't really see too well. You don't see any light, or you
Yeah.
just see the flash.
That's pretty cool, man.
Which laser is that one?
It's nothing fancy. It's just the Elegoo Fecta 20 watt.
I'm not going to respond to that because I know how much it is.
I got it from Amazon. They're primarily known for making 3D printers.
Yeah.
And they made two versions of this: a 10 watt and a 20 watt, and it works pretty good. I'm happy with it. I know there's much better and much more expensive ones out there, but I couldn't beat it for $600.
Wow.
I don't know.
Some
What,
of the fundraisers get up to like 30 grand.
Holy moly.
I don't know what we had at school, but they were nice. They would do wood, PVC, metal. They would do everything.
Yeah, I can do that with mine too.
That's cool.
I have a rotary
Yeah, I
tool
haven't
that
got
I can
that
put
high
on.
tech yet.
I got the same one. We just don't have the rotor, and then plus I got a 3D printer.
Yeah. You know what's wild? A lot of this stuff really isn't that new technology. Did you guys know in 1970, Beale Air Force Base had a 3D printer?
I believe it.
Yep. That's where a lot of this stuff comes from.
And laser printers have been around for many years.
Yep.
They've gotten a little more advanced, but yeah, they've been around
Sure.
for a really long time.
I was born
That's
and
awesome.
raised in Alamogordo, New Mexico.
Yep.
And go out to Holloman Air Force Base all the time.
Sure.
So there's quite a bit of shit that they're seeing now that's been around for a while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's nothing new. We just didn't
Yeah.
know about it.
Yeah.
Imagine what they got now that we don't know about.
That's the scary part.
Yeah, they cover up a lot of shit. Don't tell us some stuff.
If you see
Absolutely.
that crazy technology in movies, then chances are it's already been out for several years.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep,
we
I agree.
were talking about that today too.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, Chris, take over a minute. Or CJ, sorry about that, Chris. And
Oh, you're
I'll be
good.
right back. I'm going to grab a bottle of water and put my bowl in the sink. I'll be right back.
Alrighty.
Right on.
Well, it's like, look at the what were they, the hyper velocity cannons? The first usable prototype that they made of that. I think they developed that back in what, like the 60s?
That I don't know.
It was the early 60s.
Yeah. I mean, and they were kind of cool. Just like air pressure, that's all it was. Just extreme amounts of air pressure.
Yeah, me and Jay were talking today when we were out having a coffee. The technology and everything that's happened that we have now and just bringing up the movies, it's been the same thing. It's in the movies we've already got, or it's been invented. It's just insane.
A big one that makes you wonder is the cloud seeding and manipulating the weather and stuff. I'm pretty confident that they definitely can make snow, tornadoes, all that, like the hurricane in North Carolina and stuff. I ain't so sure that they didn't play a part in that.
Yeah, who knows? Well, it's like we were talking about, like we were talking about public safety and military stuff. Like everything's military grade. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Well, you give a paramedic a laptop, we'll have it destroyed in 6 months. Don't tell me it's military grade because we'll break it.
Yeah, that's
Well,
no
see,
kidding.
I'm kind of, I don't know about that whole military grade thing, because the military buys stuff from the lowest bidder. So how good can the military
mil-spec
grade
means
really
lowest
be?
bid.
Exactly. I don't know if I want military grade, because the lowest bidder. I'm a firm believer in good work's not cheap, and cheap work's not good.
Yep.
You said it.
My laptop, it's military grade. It's a tough book. I'll break this in 6 months if I'm not careful.
I got that exact same one set up for diesel laptop doing diagnostics and stuff.
Is that the removable tablet?
Yep.
Yep, great laptop. I have the mounting deck in my car. I just drop it in, it charges.
Yeah, they are. They're good laptops, but I mean, they look tough, but yeah, if you're not careful with them, I could definitely see it being easy to break those.
Yeah, the CF33, another one I have. I actually used it on a patient's head one day because he went to attack me. I put a hole in the bottom of the laptop.
Holy shit.
And it's still there. It still works. It's in my car.
Damn.
Well, when you're in the back of a 12 by 12 box and your patient's psychotic and he's trying to kill you, I'm going to use whatever I got.
Yeah, definitely. Some of these fuckers nowadays, this whole world's fucked.
Yeah. And that was pre-COVID. Hey, Jay, welcome back.
Hello.
There's just enough of a reflection above your radio that I can see it.
Yep, I was just going to say.
Yeah.
When was the first time y'all heard about the stealth fighters coming out?
Oh, 90s, right? So that was called the Bluebird Project. It was like 1977.
All of them were at Holloman Air Force Base in 1988, 89, and 90.
I had one fly
Oh,
over
yeah.
my house when I was younger back. I think it was probably 94, 95. And it was the fighter, not the bomber. So the smaller, more sharp edge, kind of boxy looking one.
F-117?
I guess, yeah. It wasn't the big wide bomber. It was the smaller, more angles and stuff on it. We were out. We used to have a backdoor neighbor that had a fence running through, and we'd stand back there. Me and my parents would stand back there at the fence and talk to the neighbors and look up. And all of a sudden, there's a big fighter flying over, and it was high, but as big as it was, it looked like it was real low. It was a pretty cool thing to see. I guess that was 93, 94, 95.
Yeah, I grew up in Indiana, not far from Grissom Air Base, and to kind of circle way back earlier in the live when Jay was talking about the A-10 Warthogs. We lived out in the middle of nowhere, kind of a house just out on its own in a farm field, and when they were an active military base, they'd use our house as like their lock-on target practice. So all the time we had the A-10s flying over, and yeah, those things were badass.
Yeah, this was Central South Carolina, so we got Shaw Air Force Base out there. I guess where they probably coming from.
Yeah.
What's our record for likes here?
Likes were at 30,300.
The record was 30,200.
Wait.
Yeah, but in that same live, we also had 16,000 gifts.
That was an insane night, too.
That was nuts.
Hey, 30,000 likes.
Yep. And
16,000 gifts.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
we were
y'all
just throwing
cheapskates
gifts away
better
that
get
night.
busy. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We're at 5.8 right now.
They won't let me change any more coins over.
Why?
Hey Jay, what exit are y'all? I know the truck stop's what 173 or something. I'm coming up on 205 right now.
No, at 197.
197. I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah.
at 203 right now. You got the radio on?
Well, I'm at my house, so I'm 6 miles north of the 186. I'm in Edgewood.
I got you. I don't
But
know
I
how
got the
far
radio
that
on.
is.
Try it.
40.
If you're at the 203, you should be high enough. If you're looking over
All
the
right,
valley.
let me mute myself and I'll give it a shot. You on 19?
10 folk.
All right.
He went from his TikTok voice to his radio voice. Y'all hear that?
Uh-huh.
10 folk.
I do that shit all the time on the phone
Listen.
now.
Yeah. Did you hear him?
I thought I heard him.
I thought so too.
Yeah, man, I got you loud and clear. Come on back against the wolf. Hey, man, if you can still hear.
Yep.
There he is.
Yep.
I'll be damned.
So because from Edgewood to the shop is about 8 miles.
Yeah, my friend,
He's
you
at
got
the
the wolf.
203.
You got
He's
the
about
loud and clear.
he's
You're
about a
on
good
live.
15 miles out from where Jay's at right now, give or take.
Copy that. 202. Yep, Lima Charlie, loud and clear. That's pretty cool. He says at the 202.
202. Yeah, he's about 15, 16 miles away from you.
Damn, that's not
Live
bad at
on the
all.
air on TikTok and the CB. Look at him go.
Hell
Talking
yeah.
on the original social network and then go to the fourth backup.
Right?
Hey, Redbeard Mud Duck's no longer around. He's gone. He's history.
I'm sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize at first I had that RF power or RF gain turned down,
yeah.
so I was squelching out.
Yeah.
Couldn't hear
No,
y'all for a
I heard
second.
you, man. That was cool as shit.
Yeah.
Hey, Lopez Trucking says he needs to take his Cobra in for a peek and tune.
Tempo.
Jay, what antenna you running there at the house?
A 25-year-old serial Starduster. Been in the air 25 years.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, I remember you telling me that, yeah.
Yeah. Same coax, too. RG213.
Oh, wow.
Do you guys ever remember hearing about, I want to say his name was Steel Rod CB Shop?
Where was he at?
He would have been at the 201 exit in Remington, Indiana.
No, I can't say I ever heard of him.
Bart just got the #1 gifter badge.
He did.
Just had to do that, didn't you?
He did something similar to Mud Duck, except he was using actual like CDs that he was building, and what I've heard is he built one and he ended up talking to the International Space Station, and they busted him, and now he works for like Comcast or something, building communication boxes.
Yeah, everybody knows
Interesting.
who Mud Duck is. J-Dog.
Yeah.
Oh,
But,
come on now. Talking to the International Space Station, that's not that big a deal. I do that on a 5-watt Baofeng.
Well, I was just going to say, so to talk to the ISS, that's a a GMRS frequency, not citizens band. So I don't know how we did that.
No, it's actually a ham frequency. They moved it up. They took it off the GMRS. It wasn't doing as good as the ham frequency was.
Yeah, but that's still not 27 megs though.
Yeah, like I
No,
said,
not even
that's
close.
the legend
Yeah,
I've heard.
Go ahead. Sorry about that.
That's the legend I've heard. That it was a CB. It might have been a ham he was on.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I've actually bounced ham signals off the moon.
Really?
A lot of guys have done it. That's nothing new. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, they put
1,000
reflectors. They put reflectors up there on the moon. You can reflect off of.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
What does that do?
So, you can bounce a signal off the moon and talk to the other side of the Earth.
Ah.
That's pretty cool.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty neat. You can actually do the same thing with a high-powered laser.
I should point my machine upside down then.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Starts carving out the moon.
Yeah, Chris, what are you doing? I'm carving the Eiffel Tower on the fucking moon. Leave me alone.
Hey,
Mind
Jay,
your business.
31,000 likes.
That is insane, guys. God, thank you all so much. It's crazy the amount of support we get on this. It just blows my mind.
To circle back to your 102 whip
Yeah.
on the catwalk, I have a piece of aluminum diamond plate as a deck plate across there, and it just has bolts that pinch it to the frame. Would that still ground right potentially, or would you have problems with aluminum?
No, that should work. It's that plate is big enough. It's giving the antenna something to reflect off of. That's what it's looking for. So, yeah, there's been a lot of trucks that come in with those custom deck plates, and man, sometimes they're so pretty I can't do it. I'll mark the spot and I'll give the driver the drill and say, "You drill the hole." I ain't doing
I
that.
don't blame you. Some of those, man, they spend some big money.
Yes, yeah, and I don't want to be the one to mess it up. So we measure it from side to side, front to back, get it exactly where he wants it. And I got a little, it's for aircraft. It's a spring-loaded, what do you call it? You just pull it up and let it go, ping, and it puts a little dent in it, right, to start it. Yeah, center punch. It's a spring-loaded center punch. And I give the drill to the driver. I'm like, man, go for it. And I'll take a Sharpie marker, and I'll mark the bit where to stop. And I'm like, you just do it. I'm not going to do it. But anyway, once we get it all set up there, yeah, those tune up really nice. Yep.
Gotcha. I might look into something like that.
Well, see, we were doing for a long time there, not only the bull haulers, but I got the contract for Fleanor and Hurricane. So all those big trucks, they're pretty and they're nice. And, yeah, I get a little nervous doing shit like that on them. But I just heard Hurricane is about to fold.
Really? I have not heard that.
Yep,
Mhm.
I heard it the other day.
Yeah, I heard it on Friday.
Shop all the time.
Did they say like what was causing it, or
He lost the contract to Tyson.
really?
Yep.
Yeah, because he was supposed to have like 1,000 trucks and they only had 400 or something like that.
Huh? Yeah, we have a Tyson plant not too far from us.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And I don't know how true it is. Now, I don't want to start rumors, but that's just what I heard.
Huh?
No, it's true. I can back that one up.
Yeah, that's too bad. That's some pretty trucks.
Oh yes, they did.
They were all wrapped though.
Really?
That ain't paint.
That wasn't paint?
Fuck no.
Really?
No shit.
I always thought that was paint all these years.
Me too.
Nope.
Huh?
They cheated.
Go fucking figure.
They look cool from 50 feet, huh? Or running 80 down the highway.
Yeah, ain't
Yeah.
no shit.
And but the other thing is too, they were wrapped, but the reason why they wrapped them trucks is they were leased.
Really?
Yeah.
But the wrap is harder on
Paint.
preserving the old paint.
Yep.
I won't ever wrap a vehicle.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
It's not good for the clear coat.
Yeah, it'll burn right into the clear coat.
Now, since
Oh, shit.
Chris is a
Wow.
big body guy and stuff, how do you feel about like the ceramic coatings and stuff on vehicles?
It doesn't bother me. I don't do any of that stuff. The black '67 GTO that I did for a guy, I told him to go have it done, and he had it done. And I don't know how. I don't know if they ever finished that car, honestly. Because
Gotcha.
after it left the house, I never saw it again. But I guess it's all right.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I have a buddy of mine that's big into detailing, and I had him ceramic coat my semi, and I love it. I didn't know if you knew if it really helped save the paint all that much, or
I think it does help save it. Although I think you have to have it, paint corrected after every so often,
yeah, for sure.
So I don't know. I'm honestly not too familiar with that stuff.
Yeah, so,
But
Chris, why don't you tell him what you did on that goat?
What's that?
Why don't you tell him how you did the clear coat on that GTO? How you cleared it, you sanded it, you cleared it, all that stuff?
Oh,
Hey, I'll be back.
I double dipped it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm too old to color sand and buff a car. So what I do is when I paint it, I'll clear it, and then the following day, I'll sand the clear down with a DA and 600 grit sandpaper, and then I'll re-clear it again. And that what that does. Okay, when I spray clear on a vehicle, I'm basically putting 2 coats on it. So when I sand it with 600, I sand 1 coat off because I'll sand it flat, and then I'll put 2 more coats on it. So there's a total of 3 coats on there.
Interesting.
Nice. Yeah, and it makes the paint job look wet all the time, nice and deep.
Yeah.
Gives it depth. It's beautiful.
Really?
Scroll way down on my page. There's a black GTO. Take a look at that. That's all out of the gun. No buffing. I think it's all the way at the bottom or close to it. There's a couple videos of it. The car was actually in a fire, and I had to redo the entire car. The back section was on the fire. But it's there somewhere.
Have you ever painted a motorcycle?
Oh yeah.
You ever
Painted
painted one for a boy named Christopher Stringer?
I don't. Chris Stringer?
Yeah.
Yeah, we drag race with him.
Albuquerque?
That's my nephew.
Here in Albuquerque?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
I'm not in Albuquerque, but that Christopher Stringer is my nephew.
Yeah, his dad races that funny car.
Ray Stringer?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's family.
That's
I
cool.
know him.
Yeah.
I've never painted a motorcycle for him though.
Okay.
RC car bodies.
Hey, Nate, welcome in.
Yeah, because I know he's into RC cars now.
Yeah, he's one of the guys we race with.
Yeah.
Small world, ain't it?
Well, when you walk up to him, just kind of reach over and pop him in the back of the head. Tell him that's from your uncle Stephen.
What's your name?
Stephen.
Steven?
Yep.
In fact, we were messaging each other a little bit today.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's an all right guy. I like his dad too. His dad's a nice guy.
Old Ray.
Darren, welcome in.
Yep.
So what funny car are they running now?
Big block Chevy.
Yep.
Vintage Oldsmobile body.
Oh, nice.
And he runs a lot of nitro.
Oh yeah, a lot.
Yeah, you can hear that thing pop. It's got a completely different sound from all the other cars.
Oh yeah.
You know his dad builds that motor.
Really?
Yep. His
They
dad has
blew
been
it up
doing
last
his
year.
dad.
One of those.
Huh?
They blew it up last year.
Yep. His mom, Ray's mom and dad both used to drag race.
Oh yeah.
And then, matter of fact, the first drag car I ever sat in was one of Ray's.
Really?
Yep, he had a red Nova.
I took my girlfriend to see the Funny Car Chaos. I think it was last year.
Yep.
And Chris was there, and we were there in the pits, and he goes, "Come on, let's go." And he took us into the middle. We're in right there in the middle where the Christmas tree was, and my girlfriend was like, "No, we can't go in there." I said, "Come on, let's go." And he had us in there in the middle when him and Lyle Greenberg were getting ready to run.
Yep.
She's never heard anything like that up close. So that was that was a sight to see for her. I had to watch her over the cars.
Does Christopher and his brother still drive the rail?
I don't think Chris doesn't race. I don't know his brother.
His brother's name is Craig.
Chris was racing the motorcycles for a while, but I don't know if he still does.
Yeah.
But I know he's had a few fast bikes.
He got one of them from me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man, what a small world. That's pretty dang cool. Never would have guessed in a million years this would have happened.
Yeah, right?
That's cool. Yeah, I'll tell you what, you stand up there by that Christmas tree and that'll rattle the teeth out of your head.
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine a NHR being that close to an NHRA car.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
My daughter and
12,000
I
horsepower.
went to the,
Oh, yeah.
I think it was 3 years ago. We went to the four wides in Vegas, the four wide nationals. Man, that was unbelievable. My first NHRA event, and then you're watching 4 top fuel cars
going down the track at once,
launching at the same time. That's intense.
Yeah, the first time I went to a drag race was in Vegas. I ended up with a headache there, and they're like, "Oh no, Bandamere will do worse." Bandamere wasn't all that good. I mean, it was great, but Vegas was like insane.
Yeah, it is wild. And then I've got videos somewhere. I don't know if I have it on TikTok, but I've got videos of 4 funny cars launching. Man, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's insane. Get the top fuel drag, and the jet cars are insane. You get those jet cars at night.
Yeah, we'll get those here on occasion.
Yeah, it's been very seldom I've ever seen them down here, but you get them up in Bandamere, and it shakes everything.
Yeah.
And I think the one you were talking about where he blowed up that car last year, he was in it.
Yeah. Who was in it?
Ray.
Yeah, Ray was driving it.
Yeah, when it blowed up and caught on fire.
I've never seen anybody else drive it. He blew it up twice. I forget what caused that fire when he ran that altered body. But I believe when he was running the funny car body, the motor actually let go.
Yeah. I think on the altered body, the fuel line had a pinhole in it, and they didn't see it.
That might have been it. 'Cause, yeah, I remember watching the in-car cam for that one.
I ain't never seen that man move that fast, and him and my sister, they were married for 8-9 years.
Uh-huh.
When I seen that in-car camera, I was like, damn, he can actually move when he needs to.
he was moving pretty good.
I've seen a lot of wrecks at that track, and I watched a guy pass away there at the track one night. That was awful.
Damn, Jay, we're at 36,000 likes by 11 p.m. That's not bad at all.
That's crazy.
Hell,
Who
it's
was
1
that?
o'clock here.
Oh, wow.
See, I'm in Georgia.
It's,
Oh, yeah.
Here, what, 1 o'clock? 1
Yep.
a.m.?
Yeah.
Midnight here.
Midnight.
Who was
here.
that?
I'm gonna
Hey,
pull the
Chris,
plug.
who was that passed away at the drags?
There was a couple. I'm trying to remember their names. Mark was the first guy I saw. I can't remember his last name. I actually have a set of wheels of his here at the house. And then the other guy, gosh, he had a 55 Chevy Nomad Pro Mod car. And I think it
That's
was
right. Lyle Greenberg?
No, Lyle's still with us. One of his buddies, though. And he was doing a licensing pass. And they had been battling sprinkles all evening. And the car launched. He was in the tower lane. The car launched. And at about the 60-foot mark, left rear axle broke. And it sent the car into a spin into the wall on the left side.
Ooh.
I have never seen a wreck like that. He hit the wall head on. Car, he never lifted. I don't know why he didn't lift. He never lifted. And the hood, the nose of the car, just like shot straight up in the air and went over the top of the scoreboard.
Jeez.
And then he just started barrel rolling on the track itself.
Yeah.
And from what I heard, the seat and the seat belt brackets came apart in the tumble.
Ugh.
Yeah. So that's
crazy.
I think I remember hearing about that one.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I can't either. I thought it was Lyle. But
No. Lyle did get his Top Fuel license, I believe, last year.
Nice.
In a fuel
Guys, I'm
car.
gonna get out of here for the night, so we'll holler at y'all later.
Okay, sir. You have a good evening, man. Thanks for being on here. We appreciate it.
73.
You guys have a good night. 73s.
Yeah, I'm probably going to do the same thing. I'm getting ready to roll up to the house. I got to go turn on the analyzers and finish that GMRS radio I'm working on.
Nice. Yeah, man. Thanks for being on here, and thanks for everything. It's nice seeing you on here.
Oh yeah, dude. I enjoy the hell out of coming on here. I mean, it's nice to get to talk radios with people that actually know what they're talking about.
Well, it's nice talking radios to average people, not some bookworm with tape around his glasses that just, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
There's two different kinds of electronics guys. There's those guys, and then there's guys like us. And those guys,
Yeah, the practical
they drive
guys.
they drive me nuts, man.
Yeah.
Because if it's not in the book, it's not possible.
See, I've never even read the book. If that tells you anything.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And
Oh, I
most of
got
what
the
I've
Bible.
learned, I've taught myself.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really
So-
cool. Well, you enjoy your
I wish
night,
you
sir.
guys-
73s. You be safe.
73's that guy. Hey,
Yeah.
Chris,
Alright.
so that
Y'all have a good evening.
racer that died out at the dragway, his name was Lauren Jones.
Lauren
There you
Jones.
go. Lauren Jones. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
back in
actually
2013.
I caught the race on camera, and I have it on YouTube, but it's in private. But as soon as the car went left, I didn't drop the phone, but I just instinctively put it down and didn't film the wreck. But you can hear everybody talking. That was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That
too
was
bad.
awful. But this Eiffel Tower is looking crazy, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's going to take them 3 hours to cut it out and 7 hours to put it together.
Right?
Yeah, I think when it's done, I'll go ahead and let it finish tonight, and I'm just going to leave it alone for the night in there and not disturb it because there's a lot of pieces.
it's cutting all the webbing for the supports and everything now.
Wow.
How tall is
That's a
this
lot
thing
of.
gonna be?
What's that?
How tall is it gonna be when it's all put together?
I'm not sure. The advertisement that they show, you can make them different sizes, of course, for depending on the size of your machine. The one where the picture where I found it on Etsy looks like it's about 2 feet tall.
Damn.
Pretty decent size.
And it might even be taller because this one, it's got some tall pieces.
That's cool.
I took him with
By the time
my.
it's done, it comes out like 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I need some more wood.
I designed a tower to like have a little 3 beam on it, but it's going to be like 2.5 foot tall.
And what is it?
A CB antenna tower.
Oh, okay. Hey Jay, are you there?
Oh yeah.
I found a couple different Navy. I don't know what those things are called. Navy plaques, like that Army one I did.
Yeah.
So I found 2 different ones. I'll show them to you tomorrow and see what you think, which one you want.
Okay. Cool, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. It's about 10 after 11. We should probably all hit the rack. Get ready for Monday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You gotta hit 40K first. Almost there.
You guys, thank you so much for everything. I have so much fun doing these lives. I thank everyone for all the support. It's really amazing. It's truly a blessing. It's really cool. And yeah, guys, if you need something, you always know where I'm at. I'm just a phone call away.
Yep. We enjoy doing this. It really is fun, and the time goes by quick. I didn't realize we were on for almost 4 hours.
I know. It's crazy.
Same to you. If you ever need anything, you got my number too.
Absolutely. We got a bunch of good guys in here willing to help people, and that's cool. So
Well, that guy
with that,
that I painted that Toyota body for, I told him he's welcome to join tonight, and I guess he's got to work. But he said he really enjoyed listening to us shoot the shit.
yeah, that's cool. That is really cool. Well, guys, with that said, 73s, God bless to everybody. And till we meet again, happy trails.
73.
Yep, good chatting with you guys.
73.
See y'all.
Peace, love, and chicken grease.
That's right.
Get piss and chicken grits.